Do 4 guests. I think this will work. Bueller. If I change it to 5 and go big screen, it still cuts off. Completed. Thank you. You call it. Where is that tracker? Oh, hi. Yep, very much. Trans people are beautiful.
Okay. Do you think people that aren't trans are beautiful?
It's not what it says.
Well, I know, but I'm asking you a question. We already established that you are beautiful. I'm asking you a question.
Sure.
But you don't seem as psyched to call those people beautiful. So is it just like a subset of humanity that you think is beautiful, or you don't think all of it is?
So what you're talking about is a whataboutism. Like I'm saying trans people are beautiful, but you're saying what about these people that are not trans?
No, I said trans is trans. Wait, trans, like it doesn't say trans people. It says trans. So like trans.
Being
Every
trans is a beautiful thing.
Okay, so being trans. So the verb is
Being trans people, anything relating to trans is just beautiful.
well now it's verb versus noun. So like do you think the verb of being trans is beautiful, or do you think the noun of the people are beautiful? I just
All
want to clarify.
states, all states of transness are beautiful.
That's not what I asked.
I mean, do you find an issue with the statement that trans is beautiful?
No, you're looking for opposition. I'm not opposition. I'm trying to clarify your words because what you said is trans is beautiful. Trans can mean different things. Trans can be a verb or a noun. I'm wondering,
Yeah.
are you referring
And
to
I'm
the
not putting it
noun?
on one particular thing. I'm saying anything trans related is beautiful.
So the transatlantic ocean.
Sure.
So transmissions are beautiful.
Oh, everybody loves a good tranny.
That's what I'm asking is like I don't get it.
Because that's my subjective view where I support trans people and I think they are beautiful people.
Okay, you're
A
talking
lot
about
of trans people have a bigger heart and a better personality than those that are not trans. And I find that very beautiful.
what are you basing that off data or just like anecdotal experiences?
Loving and supporting each other.
Again, I didn't say there has to be. I'm asking you if it's anecdotal or if it's data. Which one are you pulling from?
I don't think I have to back it up with any statistical data.
Again, I didn't say that at all. I'm asking you a question. Is it anecdotal or is it data? It cannot be data. That's fine.
I would say it's both.
Okay, so what data would it be?
The number of people that are cis and beautiful.
In like
And
so
the number of
beautiful.
trans people that are beautiful outweigh the number of trans people that are ugly. Both
Right, but
inside and out.
again, that's subjective, so that can't be data. That's just your
No,
opinion.
no,
Fine.
that's very much like a data thing.
What data? What do you know what data means?
Yeah, Data is an actor from Star Trek.
Okay, are you gonna be serious? You're really doing a disservice to trans people by acting like this. Can we have a conversation?
No, I'm literally just reminding trans people that they're beautiful, their existence is beautiful.
Okay, that's great. What I was
I mean,
talking
how would you
about.
consider a disservice to just tell people, hey, you're beautiful on a
No,
Friday afternoon
no. What I think is
out
a
of
disservice.
everything going on in America? You are beautiful and you're valid.
Okay, that's not what I said was a disservice. What I said was a disservice was joking about Star Wars at a time like this conversation is being held. That's
Yeah, we shouldn't
You have
joke.
22 people in a room listening to you, 25 now. If you had 25 people in a room listening to you, would you still joke about it, or would you want to spread your message that trans is beautiful and tell people why? I mean,
Joke
think about
about
that.
Star Wars? Absolutely.
This is probably why you've ended up where you are in life. Then.
As a beautiful trans person, very much.
So, good citizen, why do you need data on love? I mean, can you
I don't.
provide
I
us
don't.
data on can you provide us data on
I,
cisgender
I
people
don't.
being beautiful or good? Can you
I
do that
don't.
for me right
I
now?
don't need data, sir. I never asked for data.
I'm not a
Don't do the
sir,
soul
sweetheart.
thing.
I'm not a sir.
Yes, you are.
Nothing
Yeah,
sir
what?
Yeah,
about
you
me.
are.
Can you
You're a
name what
sir.
is?
Who do
Tell
you
me what
think you're
is sir about
fooling?
me.
You're
Who do
not.
you think you're fooling?
No, seriously, tell me what is sir about me, and I will actually concede.
What do you mean?
I will concede if you can tell me what is sir about me. I will
Doesn't.
concede to you.
Okay,
What are
sure.
the sufficient and necessary conditions to be sir?
Here's one. Um, does your body like determine at all if you're a male or a female?
No,
You
no, we're
tell
not
me.
talking male or female. We're talking
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. What defines a
Sir is a
sir?
male.
What defines sir, ma'am?
Being a male.
Uh,
Ma'am, please.
um. So
What?
you're. Do you understand what you're even talking about? I mean, do you know the difference between what between a male and a man is, and a woman and a female? Do you know the difference?
Yeah, there's no difference between a man
There
and a
is.
male.
There's absolutely a difference, hon.
No, a man is an adult human male. That's what that
No,
is.
see, you're using a reductive thing from Cambridge Dictionary. You
No,
realize, you
you're just
realize,
using mental illness because somebody
no,
hurt you as a
listen to me
child.
carefully. Listen to me
I
carefully. I
don't
have
have to
30,
listen to you, sir. No,
so
thank you.
just listen carefully to one
Don't do
thing
the
that I'm going to
sir.
say, and then I'll shut up.
No,
How's
no,
that?
thank you, sir.
I
Have a
will
blessed
actually,
day.
I will
Have a
actually
blessed
shut
day,
up.
sir.
Oh, so you're going
Yeah,
to run
Good
away
day,
from me?
sir.
You're going to
run,
run
just
away?
run.
Oh,
Have a
so
Yeah,
you're
good
if you're
going
day,
to
gonna
run
sir.
run,
away?
run.
You're going to run?
Yeah, if you're gonna run, run.
Have a good
Are
day,
you going to
sir.
run? So
Yeah,
what I
if
was
you're
going to
bitch
say
made, you're
is
bitch
that if
made.
you
Just
can,
run, bro.
hold on, if if
All
if you
insults.
can actually you can actually humiliate me all you want. If you can actually one up me. Oh, see, you left. You
I
ran.
dropped him, so I dropped him because they're in here reporting my live. I got a flag.
Oh, it's recording your live.
They're
Wow.
reporting it.
Wow.
I only came up because somebody was dissing Star Wars.
Right?
I thought they
I
were.
came up because I haven't seen you guys in a while, and I thought I'd pop in. And I'm alive. Don't worry. I'm
We'd
still
love to
What
yelling
was
see
at
funny,
you.
people.
Echo, is that you talked about Star Trek, not Star Wars.
Yeah, I let him go on that one.
Oh, that's okay. You can diss Star Trek as much as you want.
Whoa, now.
Now.
Compared to Star Wars, it's utter trash, isn't it? So, you know.
I
I
mean,
thought
But,
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars
alright,
is
I will give
awesome.
credit where credit is due. I do like Next Generation, and I do like Voyager.
Isn't Star Trek just like a nickname for that or something? Aren't they the same thing?
No. Have you even watched Star Wars or Star Trek, my dude?
They're the same thing, right?
No. Absolutely not.
Do you want a new Civil War?
The Klingon Empire will rise again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jabba the Hutt, Captain Kirk, two totally different things.
Captain Kirk.
How could you just compare Jabba the Hutt and Captain Kirk in the
No, no,
same
no,
sentence?
no, I'm not comparing them. I'm like, they're not synonymous.
Yeah,
I'm
obviously
not
two people
comparing
with
them.
two different names aren't the same people. Like,
If you had said Captain Kirk and Han Solo, I would have been like, yeah, okay.
Okay, you know
I
what
heard
though?
that
I
the
just think
Mandalorians are going to settle on Vulcan.
This is the way.
Heresy.
I have two passions in life. One is Star Wars, the other's Marvel, okay?
I don't get it. But
congratulations, Mossy.
I was confused about the prompt, yo.
Thank you.
What's wrong with what's confusing about the prompt?
It's just like, if it's beautiful, yeah, then why they always be like changing their appearance and stuff?
Would you like
What's
to
wrong
know?
with affirming people that they're beautiful?
Huh?
What's wrong with affirming people that they're beautiful when they are?
I don't even get why you're asking this. I don't see how that relates.
Can I explain what you asked, which was an incorrect form of words? Can I explain to you what you think you know and what you don't know?
Incorrect form of words.
Yeah, you used an incorrect form of words to form your sentence.
How so?
So you said, repeat it again, and I'll show you.
I said what? You're critiquing my speech. You should know.
You said, you know, you say trans is beautiful, but why do they have to change their appearance if they're beautiful? Right? Right? Did you not say that?
Close enough.
Okay. So we don't change our appearance because we don't love ourselves. See, that's just your own ignorance, not understanding what we're all about.
I
The
never said
reason we
that.
change our appearance is so that we fit more closely with the sex to which we identify and denote to. Do you understand?
No.
So you're a dude, right? You're a guy.
Yeah.
Let's say you walk up upon 5 women, right? And they're having a deep conversation. You walk up. You know what's going to happen, right? They're all going to stop talking about whatever they were talking about because it's their conversation. And they're going to address you and change the conversation. And they're going to have a little conversation with you and ha ha ha. And then you're going to leave. And then they're going to snap their fingers and going to be right back to the conversation they were having before because you're not part of that clique. You don't belong having that conversation with them. So they sort of let you do what you're going to do. When you leave, they change the conversation back. How do I know? I've been in a billion of those conversations. So when we change our physical appearance, it's to affirm who we are as people and to more closely, I guess you would have to say, resemble the sex to which we identify so that we can have those social interactions because society is a weird thing, right? There's conversations that only dudes like to have, there's conversations only women like to have, and so on and so forth, and all sorts of other things that come along with that. So it's not a matter of we think we're ugly or we think we're putrid or we don't love ourselves, because we do love ourselves, all of us do.
You just spoke incorrectly.
No, I really didn't.
Yes, you did.
Can you prove?
You said you do it to resemble the sex that you identify.
Correct, to fit into the peer group to which we identify. To fit into the peer group to which we identify and denote to.
Yeah, why would you be identifying to
Do you understand where most of your sex characteristics are? Can you name where most of them are?
You're not attacking my point. Can you address what I said?
Actually, it has everything. I am directly answering your question. You're just not smart enough to hear that.
You're not.
Listen carefully. Are you really? You really can't answer that question. You don't know where most of your sex characteristics are.
You didn't answer my question. You asked me.
All right, what is your question? All right, go ahead. What's your question? Go ahead. What's your question, Slick?
You don't remember the question, but you were going to
Just
tell
answer it.
Yeah.
Ask it again.
Well, how are you gonna answer a question you don't know what the question was?
Can you ask the question again, please?
Nah, it's okay, Amber. It's
all right. Then in that case, answer my question.
You're trying to answer a question you didn't hear the question. Make that make sense.
All right. If you don't want to repeat it, that's on you. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm fine.
It was a bad faith argument. You were going to answer.
No, it's not a bad faith argument. No, it's not. You're up here smushing the heads of a marginalized group to the ground, and you think that you're Mr. Dapper Dan Wonderful.
Yeah, all we're doing
You're an
is
asshole.
all I'm
That's
doing
all you
is
are.
holding space to tell trans people they're beautiful. That little bit of positive reinforcement. You want to be mad.
Wow. What an a-hole. Jesus.
Yeah, they're a frequent flyer. They like to be in these spaces. I think you've spoken with them before. I believe you have, Amber.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have. It's just I don't remember. You get up to, as many people as I've spoken to, and you just don't remember people anymore. Well, that shows two things: that they're not on my radar, and two, they're not that important to remember. Your brain has this wonderful capability, just like road signs, to throw out 90% of the road signs that you see on your way to work. And he's one of those road signs that my brain felt.
That's just fucking ugly and pitiful.
Millennial, use your age. Millennial.
Yeah.
Your age, please.
I'm 38, and I wanted to say that trans is ugly and pitiful.
Well, that doesn't say much for you as a human. You know, it's funny, Echo. You have the most beautiful, positive, affirming message on your screen that doesn't hurt anybody. It literally, it actually lifts people up. And you have these people that their best years in life was 11th grade of high school, and they come up and say the most vicious things because they're stuck in the same bar and grill every Friday night that they were in since they were 18 years old, in the same, you know, same one gas station town that they lived in their whole life. So that's what they want to do. It's crazy.
Steven, how old are you?
I'm 35 years old.
Cool. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I just heard y'all talking. I saw your image in the background there, and I just wanted to say thank you for keeping the visibility up. Thank you for spreading the message. Love you all. Keep the visibility up on the app and in real life. Really appreciate it. I have a
Thank
trans
you.
son, and it's always meaningful to me to see people being open and strong.
Definitely.
Thank you, Stephen.
And thank you for being a good parent.
Yeah, it's been an adventure, right? So I'm middle American, middle class white guy. So I've never dealt with never directly dealt with any sort of like persecution. Let's just use the word as it's meant to be. Never really dealt with that or like civil rights issues. You know, I've been in the corner of people who have. I work in a social services field, so I understand to a degree some of the issues that people are dealing with, but it's never impacted me. You know, I've never been marginalized personally, right? So to see my son go through some of that as they go through this transition it is new for me, and it is difficult sometimes to fully understand how to support them through that part of it. Of course, I know how to love my child, right? But it's a nuance that you don't deal with unless you, unless you know. In my world, you just never really dealt with it, so it's a new thing for me, and I just appreciate places like this that are supportive and helpful.
Love that. Yeah, definitely. You know, anything that brings us together and supports each other is a good thing. So, cool. All right. New guest, Hannah, I believe it is. I need your age, please.
I just turned 30 yesterday. Hello.
Hello. What's up?
I just had a question about pronouns because I go by she, they. And I've been told it's kind of like a feeling is choosing to be going by certain pronouns. Is that true, or is there something more to it?
We use feelings as a loose term. Um, when it comes to pronouns, those are just how we want to be referred to. It's the language we decide that we want used around us. Um, some people prefer gender neutral pronouns, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually a nice thing for a lot of people. Some people like the gendered pronouns. So either way, it's just whatever works best for you. I mean, you can say it's a feeling, how you want to be referred to. Um, everybody's different, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yep.
Holy
So
shit.
sorry, my girlfriend came in. Thank you so much for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It was like a moment of silence here.
I know.
Hey, my future wife just came in.
Good morning, George. It's Friday afternoon, and TikTok's going to eventually be beamed. So, yes, Ella. Ella's getting married today. We planned out the wedding for TikTok.
Do you think there's going to be a last minute reprieve or what?
I mean,
I
there
don't
could be.
know.
I mean, Amazon and Oracle are in, and I think I've heard a couple other companies as well are in the battle
Yeah,
to
but
get it.
so far, is it ByteDance said no to everything. So the only way to do this would be to have the pumpkin actually extended again. So that would have to happen within the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
I think Pumpkin Tino Man will, because he'll want to look like the hero again. That will be my thought.
I mean, after
Yeah, he'll
destroying the
be
economy, he has to do something.
He'll be toting some 11th hour deal just to look like he's the winner.
Yeah, so I'm just up here to upset some GCs as I don't think I have enough tiers for my wedding. People are running out. But as everyone's favorite GC, I love you all, and you are all valid.
Thank you. Thank you. You're valid as well, Ella.
That's clipped and put on Reddit, I'm telling
you. With Amber here, we'll probably end up on 2 different Reddits.
Wait, am I going to make my debut in another Reddit page?
Maybe.
Yes.
Amber, Ella.
And I've been on this app almost 2 years. Where the fuck is my Reddit page? Or am I just late to the party?
You know what's funny is I never
Roxy,
used
would
Reddit.
you like me to make a Reddit post about you?
Period. Pop off queen. Don't forget to put in the fact that I use AAV and don't give a shit.
Everybody says I'm all over Reddit, and I don't even use Reddit, so I don't even know. I don't care.
I actually made it to Reddit, Amber, if you can believe that. Me.
I deleted the Reddit, so if I end up on there, I'm relying on everyone else to tell me.
It's alright. I'm actually going to create an entire new subreddit that's just purely for your lives, Echo. That's all it's going to be.
People have tried that, and it falls short. Usually it's racists that make them on me, though. So.
Sorry, I've literally just got a Reddit notification as well.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, we're all valid, and I love us all. And I'm not your wife yet, Webby. We're not married yet.
Are you getting the wedding jitters? It's only an hour and a half away.
Oh shit, so it is.
You don't even know when your own wedding is.
To be fair, we've spent the last 3 hours trying to get to know each other.
Did the first 10 marriages not achieve that?
No.
No.
You didn't get to know each other throughout 10 marriages and 10 divorces?
No.
But it's okay. We've nailed pretty much everything at this point now.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, we've discussed kids' names. We're getting a dog.
Did you know that Ella actually supports trans people?
Look at that. A GC with human respect.
It's big news.
That's gonna get clipped.
I'm telling you, somebody call BBC, get NBC involved in this. Call CNN.
You wanna get clipped? You wanna make it to the Reddit?
I've already made it to the Reddit.
You wanna make it to do you wanna be the Reddit?
I am the Reddit. The Reddit is me.
I officially announce Ella is funding me to get a gender transition. Ella's paying for it.
W.
She actually told me that I'm trans.
That's not how it works.
I didn't decide that for myself. Ella decided for me.
Yeah, I'm deciding it for people now.
She indoctrinated me.
Okay, right. Seriously, before that does actually make it.
She actually is making me go into the female bathrooms. Wow. She's dragging me in there by the hair. The wig.
Echo, I gotta go. My lunch is done. Mary,
All right.
everybody,
Love you, Amber.
everybody up there. Love you guys. Bye.
What are you having for lunch, by the way? What are you having?
Ooh, you don't want to know. Pastrami.
Oh, I miss a good pastrami sandwich.
Yeah, it was sent
Oh, I'm
down.
so jealous.
It was sent down by my aunt from New York City to upstate. It took about 4 hours to get here, but it's gonna be lovely.
Amber, we gotta go do lunch sometime this summer.
Let's do it. I'm all for it.
All right.
Yeah, are you closer to the big metropolis? Or are you closer to the mountains?
I'm in Syracuse area.
Oh, beautiful. That's not that far away. Good. Yeah, I'll definitely connect with you. We should do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Beautiful. All right, you guys take care. I'm gonna go eat some pastrami on rye.
I'm jealous.
Echo, I think we need to have like a lunch date, but we're gonna need to do it over like Discord VC because I'm not flying to New York.
No.
Yeah, that would be it. That would be tough.
We can go New York.
We could do like teleshots and stuff. Those are cool. You ever do a teleshot? It's where you do a shot and you're all on Discord or on Zoom or whatever, or on some sort of, phone call with video, and everybody goes cheers at the same time, and you got like 10 people from different countries, and y'all do a shot and you say cheers. It's kind of fun.
Just go on
I'd
a
love
day trip
that.
to New York. It's only like a 10-minute walk from where you live, Ella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to the New York Deli in Glasgow.
Just walk over to
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, let's all make a date out of it. All right, and Echo, keep me informed. All right.
Yep.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Funny thing is, I actually have to go to New York at some point this year.
Well, we could actually just do that as like the after party tonight.
Nina, if you can request up, you definitely have some interesting takes down there.
I need to renew my passport before we go because I've only got 6 months left on it.
I've just got a new passport, so yeah, I had to change my gender markers to female.
Oh goodness. There's
No,
another 1,000 posts up on the Reddit. I wonder how many people are going to take you seriously on that.
None of them, because nobody actually cares. This is the internet.
Right.
Did you not see my question, Echo?
I did.
Why
But
did you not
I let people
ask it?
monologue.
What?
I let people monologue sometimes. Amber said something like a year ago that resonated with me. Like, we're not going to learn something in a 30-second soundbite. Sometimes it does mean you got to listen a little bit longer. So I got no problem with that on occasion.
Can she just send it to you so you can read it off, though? No shade. Maybe a little. What
Do
is
I wear a
that?
red lip or a nude lip to the wedding?
Red, because I'm wearing nude.
Okay. Perfect. Cool.
Can you
Nina,
stop
the
with whatever
difference
that
is not
is?
everybody educates their kids.
Oh god, we're not talking about kids right now, are we? Because like
They're talking about like sex education in school.
let's
and
leave
shit like
kids
that.
out of it. Kids need to like just stay kids, right? And just be that a child
In reference to what? Sorry, I missed the question.
in all aspects. Just let them be kids. They are innocent. They are, you know,
Are we talking about LGBT?
Yeah, but at the same time, like sex
needing
education
to
in
be
school.
that, right? Like instead of putting that kind of information into their heads when they're children, wait until they're older, right?
What kind of information? Sorry, again, I missed the question. LGBT information?
Anything that has to do with any kind of.
So when should kids receive sex education, Naomi?
First off, they should receive it from their parents. Secondly, it shouldn't be until they're into high school
So, sex education
or
from
even college at that point.
That doesn't work. That's incredibly unsafe.
It's not. Not if you have parents that are responsible.
So you're going to rely on parents to be responsible 100% of the time?
We
Well,
should,
Naomi,
so
not-
here's the other thing that I think that we should be having education for people that want to be parents. They should have to sign up to be able to have to be a parent.
This is the thing, though. There's always going to be cracks in that system. Think about, like, for example, I'm assuming you live in America, yeah?
I do.
Right. So, like, take your pupil laws, for example. Like, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, we have this safety precaution and this safety precaution. You have to sign this and do this course," but like, people still slip through the cracks.
Well, of course that's going to happen. That's why we have law enforcement.
I just don't think it's responsible to rely on parents 100% of the time. Because in that regard, right, why don't we just scrap school altogether? Like, oh, it's the parents' responsibility.
Well, you know, I think that's like being a little too.
No, but I think it lines up with what you're saying. Though. You're relying on parents for education when 90% of the time they don't. Like, schools exist.
Schools
for
are supposed to teach arithmetic, history, science.
Yeah, but the point of school is to prepare a child
There's a
to go into
lot
the adult world. And you cannot appropriately do that if you're not teaching them. Sorry, I'll let you go, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Naomi, don't you think that when you are in school, you also are learning social skills and how to be accepting
And a
of
safe,
people
responsible
and,
person.
and bringing awareness that not everybody is like you, Naomi. Like,
Mary.
do you think that that's how is it wrong for children in kindergarten to draw a picture of their family, and for Jimmy to say, well, I've got two dads, or for Lisa to say, I've got two moms, or for Marie to say, well, I have a mom and a dad, and for Kimberly to say, well, I'm being raised by my grandparents. Naomi, how is that
Mary,
harmful? How
but
is
here's
that?
the thing: we shouldn't really be worrying about families in kindergarten. We should be learning.
I am 58 years old, Naomi. We do a picture of our families when I was in school. That is just part of.
That's wonderful, and I'm not coming at you with aggression or anything. I swear
No,
I'm
I'm
not.
just saying what
I'm
kids
just
draw
saying,
pictures
as a
of their
parent
family,
myself,
Naomi.
I think that children should not be talking about their families at school.
Why not? It's a big part
I
of their
think
life,
that
Naomi.
what they should be learning is how to read, write, add, and subtract.
What you're talking about, though?
Naomi, I have sorry.
Oh God, here we go.
No, it's okay.
I'm
going to be respectful. Like, I think that's the best way to have a debate. But I'm going to let Mary go first because she's got her hand up.
Naomi, how is it wrong to kids? Their family is a big part of their life. And for you to say, don't talk about your families is kind of like that's like excluding a big part of who a child is. And I'll give you an example, Naomi. I'm adopted, so when I did my family tree, I explained what being adopted was to my fellow kids in my class.
First
and
off,
they learned.
I want to say
They learned.
I love that. I love that, right? I love that. I love that you were adopted. That's amazing. I have an adopted son myself, right? I'm genuinely saying that to you. I'm not being condescending. I'm not being ignorant when I say that.
So what's wrong with the other kids in my class learning about being adopted, and for other kids to talk about having two dads or two moms or being raised by their grandparents or an aunt and an uncle? There's nothing wrong with that. It simply is bringing acceptance and awareness, because not everybody, Naomi, has the nuclear family.
Correct,
Naomi.
and that's wonderful. I'm not saying that you can't have abnormal families or.
It's not abnormal, Naomi. Come on.
Not non-heteronormative or
That's what I'm trying to
come
say.
on.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Naomi.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Naomi, you have you're in a non-heteronormative family, right? I mean, I am, right? I have two kiddos.
It's just I'm a single parent.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would
No,
be a non-hetero family because you
It
don't
wouldn't be
have
a
a
normal
spouse.
family life, right? That is not
It's
the normal.
it's
There's
not the
no such thing as a
nuclear
It's
normal
not
family.
family
social.
life.
It's not societal norms. You're not
What
Is
is
normally a
being
societal
a
single
normal?
single
parent. You're
parent.
not normally
But Mary,
What are
why?
we
two
doing?
dads, two
Why?
moms.
Why are
I'm
societal norms
first off, I'm
relevant?
not getting on that topic. That's not what I'm trying to say to
Yeah,
you.
but you already were trying to touch on to having queer family members, and with that being touched on the way you were touching
No,
on it
no,
was
no. I
disrespectful.
was not,
You were
Jasmine.
saying that they shouldn't talk
No,
about
I
their family
wasn't.
members
First
while
off,
you're
I wasn't
also a
talking to you. I
single
was talking to
parent.
Mary.
You're
Hold on.
also
Secondly,
a
I'm not going to be come at by somebody that
Can
so
we
by what?
just
it's.
can we just dial the
I'm
energy
gonna
down a little bit around the room?
That's a good point. Somebody that what though?
Oh no, I'm not angry or anything. I'm just trying to talk over Naomi, whose
Yeah,
sentence
Jasmine, it's
started
just
in
we
the
don't do the
middle of
talking
mine.
over here. As an autistic person,
Oh my gosh.
it's sensory overload, and a
Yeah, I
lot of my
understand. I'm
viewers are the same
neurodivergent
way.
myself.
Right. So you understand, and a lot of my viewers are the same way. We don't do the talking over.
Oh, I understand. It was just Naomi started their sentence in the middle of mine.
Well, I was technically still talking, and you just interrupted me.
So
Let's be real.
I just like to have a back and forth. I
That's
don't.
fine. And I was conversating with Mary, and that's cool. I will do that. Go
Mary,
ahead.
please go ahead, Mary.
Naomi, you realize this is 2025 and there are all different types of families. And to say that there only should be one type of family isn't validating. Any family, it is valid. A family makes up who they are as a family, whether it's two moms, two dads, grandparent, aunt, uncle, single parent. Who are you to judge what makes a family, Naomi?
First off, Mary, I wasn't judging what makes a family. I know there's all types of families out there. I simply am saying leave the schools to teaching about arithmetic, learning about English composition. Let's learn about history and science.
Yeah. See,
And
my issue is school
oh,
is so much more than
okay.
just an educational
Sorry,
institution.
Echo.
It's just a quick point. Like my thing is, school is more than just an educational institute. It's also a social institute, which is why we see less social skills from those that are homeschooled versus those that are schooled socially with people.
Here's the point, though, Echo, is if we stopped allowing schools to teach social skills that aren't necessary, should be up to the parents to teach, and put it back on the parents, it wouldn't make the educators as stressed out as they are.
I really need to butt in here if that's okay. Just to, I'll let you get back to your conversation with Mary, but I just want to fact check. So I actually studied sociology in college, and like I don't know if you're aware, but
Yep.
when we look at children when they're growing up and when they're developing,
Mm-hmm.
one of the secondary sources of socialization in a child's life is the
Mm-hmm.
education system. So like you can talk about how it's about say math and English, and that's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine, but you need to understand that when we're talking about education and the education system and how it's relevant to a child's development, it has become a core aspect of socialization, and that's something that you're not, even if you take social studies away from school, that's never going to change. Like this is just basic sociology. It's where they spend most of. I'm sorry, I'm going to finish. So
Okay, finish. Sorry.
it's where they finish most of their childhood. Like they're there. Like I don't know what it's like in America, but roughly 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. That is where they're getting their socialization. So if you don't facilitate that correctly and teach them how to do that, socialize effectively, then that's ultimately just going to be a detriment to that child's development.
Okay, so can I
I did have my hand
go
up.
back to where I was still having the conversation, right?
I understand,
Here's
but I did want to also
I,
fact check something real quick.
Jasmine, I was
Yeah.
still finishing my point. Okay, thank you. Cone or con or whatever. I don't know how to say it. So
Con is fine, or con.
Okay. So I don't know if you realize or not who you're talking to, but
I don't know who you are.
Okay, perfect. So I'll educate you a little bit on who I am. I have been for the past 3 years working on my doctorate in psychology, right?
That's amazing.
That's what I'm working towards. And I've already taken child growth and development, and I know what is needed for a child to grow, right? And yes, there are aspects of going to school where it is social.
Yes.
But in in a classroom, it is not needed to teach about families.
So
And if they are bringing, can I finish?
My apologies, you paused.
When we are talking about, like, if children are bringing up families, I am no way, shape, or form saying they can't talk about them. I am simply saying, why do we need to have children explaining it to other kids, and or going around and telling people what type of family they have? It is not their business. Unless it is brought up organically, it is not needed.
So here's where sorry, are you done? Can I respond to you?
Sure.
Yeah. So here's where the main. I can see where the confusions came from there, right? So I'm sure you'll have learned this. You sound very educated, so I'm not going to patronize you. What you're talking about is coming from a psychological standpoint, and as you know, the main difference between psychology and sociology is psychology focuses on the individual. Sociology refers to greater society. So when we look at it from a psychological standpoint, you're absolutely right. It may not be as relevant as what it is sociologically, but ultimately, the education system, it facilitates and advocates for greater society, right? And ultimately, we observe society. So when we're talking about this, it's important to understand the impacts that the changes that you're posing would have on society, and to take away any aspects of socialization in the education system would be a detriment to not only the child, but also to society in general. Because then we're going to have a bunch of people. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying I want Jasmine to be able to go next as well. So
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, because then we're going to have a bunch of individuals who are 18 and 19 coming out of high school, and their only form of socialization will be their primary socialization, which is in the family. Do you not see how that could be detrimental?
I can understand where you're coming from, right? I can understand it.
Yeah.
Right? I can. But here's the problem, is that now we have people going around putting out information where there's going to be explicit information coming to these children.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Absolutely.
And it is not needed for these children to grow.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A child cannot cognitively understand what that means for a dad and a dad.
Okay.
Okay? They can't cognitively, unless they are in that nuclear family, they do not understand, because some parents choose not to teach their children that. And that is their choice not to teach their child that, because it is their child. It is not the other parent's child, so they shouldn't be teaching them that information.
There's a few kind of avenues that you could go down with that, and I'm going to keep it brief because I know that Jasmine and Mary have been waiting quite a while. So what I'll say is that I don't know how it works in America. I say this all the time, but over here we have this thing called the rights of the child. So the children have their rights as well as adults having their human rights. And the rights of the child, one of them is specifically the right to freedom of information. Another is the right to freedom of expression. So whether their parents are Christian, whether their parents are, far right wing, is irrelevant to the child. The child has their own rights to their own beliefs and their own information. Second of all, I'd just like to point out that the problem is when you think of SMEX Ed, you're thinking of explicit, this goes here and it does this. No. SMEX Ed looks different depending on the age that we're talking about. SMEX Ed to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old isn't about SMEX. It's about how to stay safe. It's about teaching your child my body, my space, so that they know if they are harmed, God forbid, if they are harmed by an adult, they know that it's wrong and they know what to do about it. That's about safety. And when we talk about later on and the kind of middle to later years of high school, yes, it's relevant that they learn about SMEX because I'm sorry, whether you like it or not, there's going to be teenagers, right, who are engaging in these activities. And when we don't educate them on how to do it safely, this is how we end up with 16-year-olds who are pregnant or have STIs.
But Con, that is our jobs as parents.
But parents, unfortunately, have proven themselves to be
But that is not your right to tell or inflict onto a parent.
Yeah, but unfortunately, parents have
as
proven
society,
themselves.
it is not your job to teach my child about SMEX Ed or about good touch, bad touch, right? It is my job. And if parents were put into classes and taught how to be a parent or take a psychology class about child growth and development, right? Then maybe we wouldn't be where we are right now having this discussion, right?
Yeah. Can I ask one question before I let Jasmine respond?
Sure.
My last question would be, so based on what you've said and based on the standpoint that I think you're taking, are you saying that you're completely okay with the fact that some children wouldn't know how to consent and others wouldn't know how to stay safe during sexual activities, as long as parents keep their right over control of their children? Yeah?
Nope, that is not what I said whatsoever. What I said is it is a parent's job and a parent's right to teach consent. And if those parents, I think that as society is growing, they should be enforcing anyone that wants to be a parent to take a child growth and development class and or take a class on learning how to be a parent.
Brilliant. So I just want to,
right?
I'm gonna let
And that way, then we don't have to worry about schools learning how teaching the children about consent.
With all due respect, that's naivety, but I'm going to let Jasmine talk now.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll go around the room. I just want to make sure we give Naomi time to respond as well. But Jasmine, please go ahead.
All right. So as the only Black person on the panel, and also,
oh my God,
also, I want to point out that when it comes to the school system, is heavily whitewashed and it is heavily heteronormative. So the way you are taking this stance is showing privilege, and it's also showing that you don't understand how parents lack a lot. And I will go a little deeper. Lack a lot of education in history, in understanding their children, depending on if they're hetero or if they are queer themselves. Some queer people don't, as parents, don't have the education either. So it is very prevalent that teachers teach them at acceptable ages sex ed, and when it comes to sex ed, it actually gets a little bit more informative over time. It's not something that when you're in kindergarten, they're teaching you something advanced as, how to use a condom. So when we're talking about ages, we're talking about kindergarten, we're talking about good touch, bad touch. And then you progress it onward. But when it comes to someone who is also a queer child, a trans kid, education is elevation. And if you don't have the education to know who you are and don't have the words to put it, it can, especially if you have heteronormative family members who will continue to make you feel like you're the crazy, the odd one out if you feel like you're trans and they are telling you no, it's a phase, you'll get over it. So when you are saying stuff like this and you don't have the educations or the knowledge to actually inform your children and protect them, because when it comes to the home, it's supposed to be a safe haven. It's the world outside that's supposed to be a problem. And where your stance has been so far is making it very unsafe.
I'm gonna,
Okay.
Jasmine's good. I'm gonna ask for a full stop right there for a minute. Naomi, when we talk about conversations, the sigh is not necessary because that is a microaggression. We have to have these conversations from an inclusive and intersectional standpoint and understand that race is very much part of the conversation as well. So that's
Echo.
why that's a problem to do.
I understand where you are coming from and where you see things, right? I don't see them that way,
And
right?
that's white privilege.
And that's no.
Yeah, that's white privilege,
Because
and it's very
it's
much
not
white
white
privilege
privilege.
to ignore
It is
race as a
humanistic privilege. Because if you want to get to the point where everyone is equal, then you start looking at it from a humanistic standpoint instead of worrying about the color of one's skin.
Yeah, but
Or
that's
worrying
It's not
about the
race.
one's
Naomi,
the point
that's
of
very
one's
much white
gender or
privilege. Like white
sex
people don't
Wait,
have to
and
worry.
or creed or
Naomi,
nationality.
I have to correct you because you were talking about skin color, and skin color does not equate to race.
Right. And white people don't have to worry about their race as much. Like, it's their privilege to walk through life ignoring their privilege. That very much is your white privilege speaking.
But Echo, like here's the deal though. I have to see things from a different perspective than what you're saying because, and here comes the tokenizing, I know, because of the fact that I do have an African American child and a Hispanic child who is also Caucasian, right? So
Okay,
I
so
see it
Caucasian
from
isn't
all
a
different,
race.
excuse me,
I have to
Caucasian's
correct.
not a
I
race.
didn't interrupt you,
I have to
Jasmine.
No,
correct
like
I did
that.
not interrupt you, Jasmine.
I
When
have
Naomi,
to.
I
I
did
have to
not
correct
interrupt
you.
at you,
Jasmine didn't
Jasmine.
say anything wrong. You are.
yeah, Naomi, Caucasian is not a race. Like, do you understand where Caucasian
Whoa.
people come
Okay,
from?
here's the thing. You got to remember, there are how many people up on this panel that are coming at me?
It doesn't
Right?
matter. We're
No,
talking
it
about
does,
a
because
racial
this is where we all
microaggression that you
call
did.
the dog pile technique, right? And I am being respectful to all of you. Right?
Microaggressions aren't
I did
respectful,
not.
though.
I did not.
I asked
I
for
did
everyone
not
to full stop
interrupt
so we could
Jasmine
address it.
when they were talking.
Yeah, but
I
this
didn't.
is a completely different conversation because we're addressing the microaggression. Everybody else is
Oh,
waiting for the
Jesus, Lord
other
and Mary, Mother and
information.
Joseph. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm out of this conversation then because I'm not playing to those rules, right? I came up here to have a conversation and be respectful, and that wasn't respectful by over talking me and interrupting me when I was very much a person that was not interrupting Jasmine.
We're not going to do the fucking racist microaggression and then you standing 10 toes down on it. Jasmine, I am severely sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. I figured that's where it was going, but I just wanted to correct the Caucasian and Hispanic thing because Hispanic was an ethnicity. I was just trying to correct those two things, and I was going to let Naomi continue.
Wait, I think. Can I say something that's really brief?
Yeah, go ahead and wrap
Just
up
a
that
couple of
point.
things. Number one, multiple studies have backed that schools that embrace diversity and inclusion perform better academically than schools that don't. Like the studies are there. Two, Con was kind of already mentioned this before, but studies back that schools that have progressive sexual education in schools actually have lower STI and lower teenage pregnancy rates than their counterparts. So the science is there on both of those things. And then the one last thing I want to say is my kids go to a school where in the second grade, every family every kid does a family tree and they present it to their classmates, right? This is a really great opportunity in those situations because these kids get to learn about blended families. They get to learn about families who might be non-heteronormative or come from a different diverse background than they do, right? And this is actually a great thing that happens in our school system, and it's definitely reduced any kind of like strife that I think we normally would have in some situations.
Yeah, that was just the point I wanted to raise. It's just like I can understand where Naomi was coming from, like wanting to keep school academic, and I think there should be a focus on academics when it comes to school, but to completely disacknowledge the impact that it has on a child's development and on society as a whole, I think, and above all, it's naive because when we rely on parents to teach their kids things, like yeah, some parents might be good, but you'd be naive to think that we can rely on parents to give structured and non-biased educations. That's all I wanted to say, but obviously she hasn't here to defend her argument, so it'd be helpful if we moved on. Unless anyone else is opposition, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else is opposition.
Echo, I'll go ahead and drop down. I only just wanted to talk to her because I personally have something I wanted to ask her, but she's not here anymore, so I'll just drop down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll hop down too because I know that if there's too many friendlies on the board, they're usually going to be too afraid to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't run this as like a debate. It's more just like a conversation starter, but at the same time, a reminder that people, you're trans people, everybody's beautiful. Y'all are valid. And I think in this time that we're going through, we need that positive reinforcement versus debating our existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people want to make a debate by just having a background up about trans people.
Hi, I'm not opposition. I just want to say something to Jasmine and then drop down.
I've seen you around digital.
Hi. So Jasmine, I just want to say it's very frustrating. I'm sorry to try to explain what your existence is like in your household and have people tell you that every household should be this way. And I think that part is the part that I think you were trying to get at that is just very unfortunate. And the only thing I want to say in reference to that is I don't know why people think parents have pedagogy in their heads when most people can't even read past, we have a country of people who shouldn't even be teaching anything because of the literacy rates, right? But to tell people how to exist to me is the worst of it, right? Like you've moved past, well, don't teach this and don't teach that to don't have things where my existence is being represented. And that to me is so drastically different. And that's what I was trying to get at when I even responded to Naomi about that. The microaggression and to tell someone that race should not exist and we're just all humans is literally the point.
Yep.
You can see all the other immutable traits, but you can't see my race.
That's exactly where I was going with that. I'm glad there was someone else that understood because I didn't. I felt like maybe I was saying it wrong because the hostility, like the levels went up really fast. When all I was like, is there's intersectionality. There's also racial differences, which dictate whether or not school, going to school or being with your family is different.
And and the only thing I want to say after this is, and I'll drop, is that I really don't understand why someone believes they can tell other people how to parent as well, right? There's just this back and forth about what they believe is right for their kid. And I want you to do the things you think is right for your kid, but I want you to keep that in your house. I don't want you regulating that. I don't want you putting policies in place based on that. What you do as a parent may not be anything that I do as a parent. I may have to do different things and have different needs for my children. There should not be this thing where you think that you could just put something in place because the way you see the world, as what was said, and that's supposed to work for all the rest of us, and pretend like we don't see what you're doing. No umbrella, exactly.
Right.
So I just came up here for that. I'm sorry, and I don't
No,
think Marie got a chance to talk to Naomi. She had her hand up for a while. I'll just drop, but I just wanted to thank you, and I wanted to reaffirm what you were saying, Jasmine.
Thank you so much.
Digital, we appreciate you.
To the person down at the bottom, we are not policing your emotions. We're telling you to keep your emotions to yourself. That's it.
And a couple other creators on here have said it, and I'm going to echo it. Hosting lives talking about trans topics and not being intersectional and understanding what that is incredibly harmful. So I think that's important as well when we're hosting these spaces. We need to remember that intersectionality exists and understand what that is.
No, I got one more thing to say. I'm sorry. I'm responding to her comment. Please understand that when we have these conversations and you worry about what is below someone's belt and where they go to relieve themselves is just a ridiculous argument as well. I'm done. Thank you, Jasmine.
So, never thought I'd have to come up onto a panel as a grown-ass woman and still have to preach this topic to other grown-ass adults, right? Whether or not you agree or disagree with trans people, ultimately, these are human beings. They are human beings. No matter how they identify, these are human beings, and ultimately, they deserve respect the same way the rest of the human beings in the world do.
WL.
WLA.
That's coming from a gender critical. That's coming from somebody who actually debates this. These are human beings. We're not talking in hypotheticals here. These are actual human beings.
Also, I find it funny how you come up in the panel, yet the person, whatever their name was, didn't have the nuts to come up and say their piece.
Right.
Ella, did you say you're GC?
Yes.
Okay, so like the way I run my lives is like the intersectionality that I like to do is kind of just like the masculinization of cis women or just of women in general. And like the danger that some people have with wanting to like pull trans women out of bathrooms. And like my question for those type of people is, how do you know that person is trans? Like what quality, what trait is absolutely defining so that way if somebody were to walk into the bathroom, they would know they're trans?
We absolutely don't, and any gender critical who sits on any panel and tells you they can is lying to you.
W. Yeah.
Because we can't tell, and ultimately, I'm not pushing for trans women out of female bathrooms. I'm pushing for gender neutral bathrooms from the start.
Mm-hmm.
W.
Completely.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Entirely across the board.
So, like, with you saying that, like, you're cool with the whole like thing where it's like the common area where like you wash your hands and whatnot is like unisex. Everyone can go in there, so that way like a dad could walk in there with his daughter and watch her walk up to the door of the single stall, like the completely closed off like room looking thing for like a stall. Like, is that like, are you cool? Like, agree with that?
Absolutely fine.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay,
In
cool.
fact, I will
I'm just
hold the
trying to find
door.
solutions.
I will hold the door open for them and go, "On you come."
Yes, I think that's
Do
awesome.
this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find solutions, and I'm trying to keep like the safety of everybody in mind. You know, everybody, trans women and cis women alike. Like, there's just, it's dangerous for both when people get like angry about it. Ella, I appreciate the fact that you are very understanding and um, logical when it comes to this. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Here's the thing, and this is the thing. I think something that a lot of I have spoken about multiple times on multiple different lives in the past 2 weeks is the GC and TERF movement, which I have been downgraded from, um because, well, I wasn't GC enough for them. They're actually doing more harm than they are good.
Yep.
You're
Yes.
not proving anything. You're actually hurting trans women and cis women alike. What's that achieving for us apart from nothing?
Nothing. It's more oppression.
All these people want to do now is have a trans person up on their panel to berate them, and I'm not okay with that.
It was happening earlier on someone's panel. I won't say the name, but it was just so sad to see because, like, the most annoying thing is to see educated people completely give up and just, instead of trying to express their point and debate it like adults, they'll just insult and bully people into either submission or crash out just to make it seem like they're right. Do you get what I mean? Like, they don't want to actually debate their points because they know they're losing. So instead, they'll just try and use all those tactics to make it seem like they're winning, when in actual fact, they gave up months ago.
Yep. This is the thing. Anyone who's ever been to any of my panels will know I hold a very respectful, a very neutral panel where I don't care what your beef is with somebody else, right? You can come if you can come up and have a respectful, constructive conversation with me where we can find solutions to the problems and not just sit for 45 minutes and parrot the problems back and forth. Absolutely, up onto my panel you come. We're going to ask your pronouns, we're going to ask your age, we're going to ask your name, and that is how we are going to address you for the duration of your time on my panel.
Well.
Can I be honest with you really quick, Ella?
Go for it.
I like straight up honest as a trans person. The way you talk, I would not consider you a GC at all. Like I personally, and I don't know about the rest of the panel or what people think. Like, I think you're too good of a person to be a GC. I think you are too understanding. And this is me complimenting you because, like, when it comes to like GCs and whatnot, I see like a lot of just hatred and of thought for when it comes to the well-being of other people. I don't see you in that. I don't see you categorized in like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're too good of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
I
you.
know
Appreciate that.
Small also wanted to say something, but I think Envy wants to address Ella as well.
Well, Ella, haven't you betrayed our side?
Oh, have I betrayed your side? Do me a favor, cry me a river and get over it.
You're leaving
W.
our side GCs to be with one of the trannies?
I'm sorry, I thought that was common information. Do you not know this?
No, I'm lost. What?
Oh, I think BBC have just reported on it. Go
I'm
and watch
sorry,
it.
say that again?
I think the BBC have just run a story on it. Go and talk to them.
I love you.
Ella, honey, I'm here for you. I'm touching you to affirm you and to bring you some peace while Envy is attacking you.
Thank you.
Not the touching.
It's all right. She has my consent.
We have a whole consensual non-consent thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ella never asked for my consent.
Small,
It's
go ahead.
non-consensual consent.
I know Small wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm mute. I'm making.
This is the one thing I think people on this app forget is we can disagree on something, but keep a basic level of human respect
Yeah.
for the other side, right? We don't have to sit and berate them. We don't have to resort to name calling or dragging people because they disagree with us. We can talk it out. We're all adults here. Let's act like it.
Echo, can I address the request in the comment? Or the comment in
Real
the
quick,
request? Yeah.
Small's been waiting, so I want to give them a second, then sure.
Oh,
No worries.
you're all good. I just kind of wanted to talk about the whole bathroom thing. So I went to two different countries. Um, I went to Japan and I went to Korea. Both of these bathrooms that I went to were not gendered. They had like separate stalls. Like the wooden doors were all the way up to the ceiling, all the way down to the floor. You couldn't see who was coming in and out of there. Um, so I was thinking, like, what if we had that sort of system in place where you could lock the door from the inside once you got in? And, look, listen, I hate American bathrooms. I hate them. They're completely and utterly disgusting, not only from the standpoint of just not being clean, but to the standpoint of very perverted in a way. The stall gaps are extremely large. Um, my family is very much hyper aware of what these bathrooms are kind of doing. For example, my little brother, we don't take him into the men's restroom because the urinals are open. They are completely open, so anybody could just be looking anywhere, and I think it's disgusting. Um, so instead of having these open urinals, which I don't even know what the purpose of that is, why have the open urinals? Why not just have like actual stalls with, toilets? Like, if you
Hey,
can't
Small.
aim, go somewhere else.
Small, it's funny like that you say that. Because like our bathrooms are like a joke to other countries.
Oh yeah,
Like
I
like
know.
it is embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing
This is
of
why I use
just like
washrooms in Canada. Same reason.
what? But does Canada have the closed off ones?
It depends.
Do you guys? No way. You guys have stall gaps too?
I mean, I've used them in Canada, yeah, in Ontario, right? I mean, I live in the Pacific Northwest, but I work in Toronto, so um, so it
Like,
depends. Like if I'm at a rest stop, right? But they
Yeah.
are called washrooms. Don't call them bathrooms. They'll get really mad at you.
yeah. So, I mean, for me, honestly, as somebody who is non-binary, who's gone to both bathrooms and has like looked at them and gone, what in the world is the whole purpose of having an open, like, an open concept bathroom is what I call them. Like, you see everything. You know who's pissing, you know who's shitting, you know who's done pissing. Like, nobody needs to know all of that. Why not make, what the washrooms are designed for? So not only do women feel safer, but children feel safer. Because let's be honest, um, little boys shouldn't be like in the men's bathrooms that way when they're just like open like that. That's why women do not take their little boys into that restroom because it is so uncomfortable.
So can I state this though? So in the United States, at least I know a lot of states are doing this more than other states, but kind of the rules and regulations around bathrooms and even how bathrooms are set up in places that are owned by the state and public restrooms more and more in federal sense when they need to be remodeled are definitely done more in the European style where there's more of a there's no gaps, right? There's more of the floor to ceiling. And we're even seeing more places that have those have, at least in like states like Washington and Oregon, where it's more of a gender identity thing of like use the restroom. It's kind of an open kind of format. The public area is public and the doors are kind of that closet kind of base setup. So we are going there. It just takes us a while, just like with the chippies, right? We didn't use the chip card and everything, and it took us a while to catch up with everyone else, but we're going down that path.
I just want to say, fuck it, and Washington, Oregon, and California should just become the next province, and or just be, just sucked into British Columbia, and we'll just make one big BC. It'd be great. Be great. Because fuck this place.
One province would have more population than the entire rest of Canada, though.
I would say we should steal an island and have all the non-binary people and all the theys, the she's, and the girls all live in the island. No men allowed.
I'm making food,
Let
by
me
the
on
way,
the
so I'm
island.
gonna.
Can you not like make some for the rest of us while you're at it? I
You
think the
you
rest
you
of
can
us need
you can
food.
come to the island. You're invited.
Woo!
Ella, yeah, Ella, you're invited to
Oh, I'm sorry,
you're
Oliver.
invited to the island. The theys and the thems island. That's
Yay!
funny. That's so funny.
Have you seen the movie Nim's Island? Instead of Nim's Island, it's They Them's Island.
Oh
Here's the
goodness.
thing, like from what you said earlier, like you wouldn't regard me as a GC because I'm too nice and respectful, right? Here's the thing, like
You
I no longer sit at the GC table because I began to see just how toxic that side is. And I may not sit at that table anymore, but I can guarantee you when I enter GC lives, that table quietens down. Heck of a lot.
I will say, yeah, I mean like that can kind of I guess work to your advantage to be able to kind of just kind of move about different spaces. Um in a
Look at
sense.
that.
But
I
you're
am what people
go ahead.
regard as a GC sitting in a panel where, there's no need for name calling. There's no need for insults. We've done
Oh
nothing
yeah.
but have a polite conversation. I'm happy for all of us. Love that
No,
for
no,
us.
this has been nice.
Oh, so who is that Envy account? Because I recognise that voice.
It,
It's me, Envy. I'm just a good Envy.
Good Envy.
Nega envy.
I'm
You
the
ever
train.
seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World where he like goes to like fight himself at the very end
I'm the
and it's
Envy
like
that
Nega
realized I was
Scott.
training. I'm the training Envy.
I'm not. Envy is already trans. We know this. Come on. Speaking of which, for people who say like, speaking of masculinizing women, by the way, like I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little bit guilty of it when I saw Envy for the first time. Not even gonna lie, I was just like, oh, this is a beautiful trans woman, and I was like, she's amazing. Like I'm so happy that she's like, advocating for the community. And I waited 5 minutes, and I was just like, never mind.
Yep. Yep. Your opinion on that changed real quickly.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, yeah. I realized the statement of how are you going to be ugly on both the outside and the inside?
Oh, when they say that about me, they're just wrong about the inside, or they're just wrong about the outside part. Like,
You are very beautiful, by the way.
Hey, yo,
I will.
I just looked at your profile, Ellen. They'd be fucking tripping. They'd be tripping if they said anything like that.
this is a group of people who we used to all support each other, and then now that I am not dealing with that toxic side of the internet because it's not worth it, it's not worth the aggravation or the stress. They've now decided to start labeling me as a trans woman because they have no other way to come at me.
That's all they know how to do. Sorry,
That's
I
all they
didn't
know how
mean
to
to.
do.
Because, like, that's the thing is, so, like, I'm trans non-binary, right? I don't tell people, like, what sex I was assigned at birth. I don't feel like it's necessary. But I find it really funny when people come up and try to be transphobic, and I tell them, I was like, and they're like, well, I know you're a man. I'm like, okay, prove it. Prove it. How are you going to prove my sex assigned at birth over alive? You know, it's impossible.
Oh, but it's GCs. They know, they knew how to spot a trans woman that well that they know before the trans woman knows they're trans. That's how good they've gotten.
You know, Nancy May said the same thing after she wrote the anti-trans bathroom bill for the federal buildings in the United States. Yeah, her and Lauren Boebert, another representative from the House of Representatives, pulled a cisgender woman out of the bathroom thinking she was trans. This is what I'm talking about. It's like this is why talking about this and discussing this is important because of like Echo said, that intersectionality.
Can I just say, I feel like people forget that like women can be masculine.
Yeah.
It's just, ugh.
100%.
You know what this remind me of? There was a GC that came into my panel who we've been talking privately in chat and like throughout TikTok, like privately. And he came up to my panel and we're talking about trans topics. And then I go, you do know I'm trans. And he actually did not know I was trans.
Do you want to know why that is?
No.
Because see, 99.9% of the time, we can't tell.
Real.
I am releasing the GC secrets right now, so I'm like, just keep it hush hush, right? But we can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, Ella, even with studies I've seen, the most like that, the percentage rate in society is somewhere around 95% that we can guess someone's sex at birth. But when you factor in that there are gender nonconforming people, trans people, cis people who get misgendered, that's not really a great number at 95%, right? Because it inherently means that the chances of being wrong is greater than zero.
Yep.
I mean, it's
And
happened to
like,
me quite a lot. Um, I think Echo at one point was like a witness to it on a couple of discords that I was in. People couldn't tell my gender right off the bat. They were like, "Wait a minute." They were like, "What? Are you AMAB, AFAB?" And I'm like, "As far as you know." They're like, "That's not an answer." And I'm like, "Too bad."
None of your business.
you know, something that like really kind of bugs me as well is like a lot of GCs minimize women down to simply their reproductive organs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gross because like people have to realize that everybody's womanhood is different. Everybody's journey is different. Not everybody goes through the same thing, you know?
And
Like,
that's why they're doing more harm than good. Like if we are reducing women down to someone who has a uterus, women collectively have tried to move away from that for years.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried to not just be mothers and stay-at-home wives. Like we've tried to stay away from that. and you're just putting us right back at the start. Judith Butler 2.0.
Oh, yes.
You sound so beautiful. You sound like one of another friend that I have who is she's Irish
Can
and she
someone
has
mute
a
Pulse
beautiful
for five
voice.
seconds?
No, 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 Simone. Go look at Ella's profile. Ella is gorgeous.
Can
Like,
someone mute Pulse
they'd
for
be
5 seconds?
dumb as
I
fuck.
know. I saw it. I saw it. I had to go in
Ella,
there and then I had
you
to
you are
automatically leave before I had an existential crisis.
Ella, you are beautiful on both the inside and the outside. That's why you're not a GC.
Yes.
Can someone mute Pulse for 5 seconds?
Why?
Pulse is outing me.
Oh,
Here's the thing, right? And I've said it once, I'll say it again. See if we live in a world where our biggest issue is what bathrooms people are using. We live in a pretty damn perfect world.
Don't out me, guys. I'm envy.
I mean, Ella,
But
my thing is that at the end of the day, there are things that GCs attack trans people for. That's really an attack on reproductive rights in general, and reproductive rights are should be important to anyone who claims they're a feminist, right? And I guess that's kind of where I'm like, oh, so you don't think that trans people have the right to self-determination or bodily autonomy? Who else doesn't have that right?
so I do have a sidebar. Envy, Envy, is this the Ophelia from that live with Blue?
Oh god, it is.
It is.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by a bunch of beautiful people who I love them all.
Hey,
And
hey,
just want
Ophelia.
to take a minute to show you guys my new shoes.
Hey, potato.
Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, you are so gorgeous. I'm sorry. God, why? Why is everybody so beautiful? Ophelia, you might want to go check that rooster.
That's my alarm.
Oh, I
I
thought you
woke
just
up
had a random
before my
rooster
alarm.
just hanging out. That'd be funny.
Hey Mars. Have you gotten to see my Lady Demetress cosplay yet?
I haven't had a chance to look at it. No, I'm gonna go look
I
at
have
it.
a bunch of videos up right now. I just posted when I have a few on my Bat Ophelia Bat account, then I have
So
a few
wait,
on my Bat Blood
Ophelia,
Ophelia.
you were doing the
It's
live with Blue, right? Where y'all were calling out Blue.
Yeah, I don't interact with anyone. I've agreed to keep everyone's name out of everyone's mouth. So have they, because we were all about to deplatform each other. We all just agreed to just stop.
Yeah.
Um,
So you were the one that made that racist microaggression.
That's what
Oh,
they call it. Yeah.
yeah. That's incredibly problematic.
They told me that I hadn't even meant to compare her to who was it? Um, Not John Wayne Gacy. I compared her to Jeffrey Dahmer and didn't know the implications because he attacked BLK people. So hadn't thought about that, and they confronted me on that. That's the microaggression, even though I hadn't meant it that way. That's how it came out. So they
There
were
was
like, "That's
also
not
a thing about
okay."
her playing being having a favorites because she donates primarily to black content creators.
I said we're not talking about this. We've already moved past this. We've all talked about not talking to each other, not mentioning each other. Actually, we interact. We just don't talk about the issues that happened because they've been resolved. I even still go to Blue's lives. It's been resolved.
Wait, why do you go to Blues Lives?
Most of the time when she's on, I don't really come up anymore, but I'm still hanging out in the comments, talking to people. Especially on my Meet Morp account because that's the only account that I have that's the most public with my private life. So yeah.
I
But do
mean,
you support Blue?
No.
We just spent 4 hours canceling Blue last night, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting mixed messages here, Ophelia.
Okay, so let me start from the beginning, okay? So after that issue happened, the only reason why these people called me out for the microaggressions was because Fritz and Freyla were getting deplatformed for me saying that I felt like they were taking sides with Blue. So they called me into the call out live and told me all these things, and even though I had literally never meant that as a microaggression, like never, like I was just really mad at her after how she treated me and allowed me to be treated by Christy. That's how it came out. They ended the live, and I like tried messaging them. I tried hashing this stuff out for like a month. I even messaged Fritz because Fritz hadn't blocked me. I'm like, Fritz, can we talk about this? Like, what is going on? Bring me to live, and they say what you said about Blue was not okay. I'm like, what did I say? And they said you compared her to John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm like, how is that bad? Like, they both harmed their own communities. Like, I'm not understanding because I really didn't understand. And they said, well, Jeffrey Dahmer unalived BLK people, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? I said Scotty is BLK, therefore you compared her to a person unallowed to be okay people. And I'm like, yeah, I see how that's bad. I am sorry. I even sent to Blue a very long apology message, and even to Friella and to Fritz. I apologize to literally all three of them, every one of them. A very long, actual heartfelt. And because Fritz did not have me on their other account, no, Friella did not have me added, I sent even the apology message to Fritz, like to give to Freya because Freya wouldn't talk to me. Freya and I are currently healing, and it's okay for us to be around each other. We just aren't like besties anymore. Like the situation has been resolved. I've done apologize to Blue. Blue has apologized to me. Even Christy even gave me information and said that she was sorry for how she treated me. This is an issue of 3 weeks ago where like everyone learned their problems, everyone like understood. We've all learned to grow, and that's 3 weeks ago.
interesting.
I was talking more about the fact that like Gacy just like unalived just people in general and like I think fed them to people. I don't know. Like I was angry. Like this is like 3 days after what Blue did to me, and I was still fuming mad.
Yeah. Do you
And
know the history around black people and how they used to be carved up and white people used to actually
I
consume
didn't
them?
think about that either, and that's what they told me the implications of. Like, and I here I'll if I can even find it. I sent like a very long apology message to Blue. I It was heartfelt, like it wasn't copied or pasted or nothing. Like I actually apologized, and we all moved on. Like they literally told me like that's not an okay thing to say, and I've said okay, I apologize, and that was it. Like I learned, like that's how I thought that's how we kind of pride ourselves in a community is reform people who say things that they shouldn't say, so that they learn and don't say them again. Like because that's what's happening. Like I have not spoken like that again.
And then don't platform yourself around problematic people.
That too, I've learned because like I'm literally like I'm finding out people that I thought were my friends are not my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they're problematic, and I'm like I don't want to be that way, so I have to disconnect myself from them. But when I do, they get mad at me, call to their friends, and they think I'm mad and them problematic, and it's just I've literally disconnected my entire Discord. I've left all the groups. I've literally left everything because I just don't want to be involved in it. And every time someone mentions Blue to me, I say for a reason that we have decided not to speak out against each other, to not put each other's names in our mouths. That's all I have to say about it.
Well, I'm not sure if you know, but I did a whole call out live with Echo and everyone on her for 3-4 hours, showing everyone the receipts on why she's problematic and not a safe space for our community.
Yeah.
She's genuinely harmful, and I don't think if you want to keep your peace, I just wouldn't be platforming someone like that problematic. Especially since they were showing pictures of you prior transition. Would not associate myself with people like that.
I know, but with the way that I'd spoken, even though I apologized, they were still trying to deplatform me, so that's why we just agreed to not like talk about literally anything with each other, that we've apologized and moved on.
Yeah.
Like
And there,
even
like, I always look for a way forward, and your name was brought up yesterday, which is kind of why I wanted to kind of circle back to it just to figure out what exactly was happening.
Yeah, like Freyla did a call it live and Fritz was there, and I'm not a bitch to just like, okay, whatever, I'm not gonna go to it. No, I wanted to hash this out. I did not want to lose my friends. So I'm like, oh, and then Blue came up and Blue was screaming, yelling at me, left. Blue came back. And I like honestly, I tried to apologize to Blue multiple times, but she like would not stop screaming at me. So I talked to Freyla and Fritz, and they explained to me that what I said was not okay. And I said, I did not know that I had even said it that way. Like, that's why people are upset because other people that I explained it to, I'm not a bitch to embellish anything. Like, I will tell the full truth and everything. Like, I said what I said. This is what I said. And so, like, that's not okay. And I'm like, how is that not okay? They gave the explanation. Like, I did not mean it that way. That's horrible. I
I'll catch
apologize.
you later, Echo.
All right, later, Hayden.
Bye, Hayden.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Love y'all.
Love you too. Oopsies.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine also that you had issues with me at one point or something.
No, I
Issues
mean,
you and
not
I
even
never
just
talked.
me.
Nice.
I personally don't have issues with you. Like, there was a person who came up. I think it was someone you were letting use your account, Buns or something.
Yeah,
Buns
Buns
Echo.
it's a shared
Yeah,
account with Bud and I.
I did not know that it was Buns, and I didn't know you were friendly, and I didn't feel like having negative energy in that live that day. So I was like, remove that person. Oh my god! And then it was Buns. So I'm like, oh wait, never mind. But I didn't know you were friendly because sometimes you're in opposition panels, so I didn't know because sometimes like I just don't know.
I'm in the opposition panel, like having conversations from our side. I've never switched up my stance or anything like that.
Oh,
So even when I'm in opposition panels, that's still me being from this side and being true to my values and myself, but in opposition space.
well, no, I've like never really encountered you physically until now. So whenever I would scroll by lives and see you in there, I'm like, oh great, another opposition. You know what I mean? I didn't see the they them attached to it. I saw the echo. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
no, I'm not opposition at all.
it's
I
just I
build
don't know.
bridges.
People
I build bridges with those that I can. Hence, Ella that was up here. She's a vendor. Hope. But like we've gotten to know each other and meet in the middle with conversations. So
if you hear anyone like, because like, constantly bringing this up and talking about it is gonna cause problems because I'm having to explain it. Well, someone asked me,
Oh, it's
so
on
like
the YouTube.
people
It's okay. So even if they ask, just redirect them to the YouTube that we had last night.
yeah, that was
the
all addressed.
YouTube.
Like Freya came in
Oh,
yesterday with
yes.
Sasha.
Yeah, Fritz was in here, Freya, like they all came through, Ophelia.
Yeah.
So, it's it was talked about in detail, right? As well as other things that just Scotty has done. It's on the YouTube. Um, it's been discussed, right? The big thing was there was an incident where, it came out about the live, and I think just Echo was wanting to know a little bit more information because there was talk of a racial, and some kind of regression or some kind of statements, racially charged statements that were made, right?
In the live towards Blue,
That was my understanding.
like in that one live where Christy was there.
Well, no, the one
No, no,
after,
no
the one after
form.
where you guys were on there talking about how Blue allowed Christine everyone to show before and after photos.
Yeah, so it was my point. Like what I tried to bring up a point is that you can't claim to help a community when you don't help the entire community. Because I've seen, and they made it seem as if it was a what about YT people when I exclaimed that like a few people that I've witnessed go up there for resources have been denied. They were YT. Disabled people were denied, and it's like I'm wondering why it says to support everyone when her nonprofit, by the way, her 501c3
It's not
says that she
real.
supports all of the community. Why is she not? That's what I said. And that's when the topic of like how her actions were, and I stupidly compared her.
Oh, ah! Oh, I'm not muted.
You okay, Envy? I know it's a lot being in a trans inclusive space.
Wait, is this really Envy?
Yeah, it's me.
Girl. So when I tried to bring you the information about Representative Zoe Zephyr, remember I was trying to bring that up? Um, about like the trans bills.
Mhm.
She got barred from the legislation office.
Trans
She has
people are
been
not
barred.
real.
Hmm?
Trans people are not real.
What?
Trans people are not real.
What?
Yep. Trans people are not real.
Guys, this is really envy because like I'm
Take a close look at the profile.
oh fucking troll account. I've asked, I think Nemi, if anyone knows Nemi, and a couple people, like, I would like someone to help me go through my friends list of people, like, I need to remove, because I'm bad at, like, noticing red flags, like, I'm very bad at it, trust me. Like, I'm very, very bad, and I was wanting, like, someone to, like, help me go through my friends list and remove people I shouldn't have there, like,
I mean, I
because,
used to fuck with Nemi until Nemi said something about hoping a transphobe gets unalived in a black neighborhood and was making racial remarks themselves. So
I mean,
I
does
used
it
to like
really
Nemi.
matter? TikTok gets erased in like literally tomorrow or tonight.
Wait, what happened with Nemi?
There was a comment Nemi made to someone about getting. They hope they get unalived. They go through a black neighborhood and get unalived.
Oh,
Yikes.
Yeah.
see, this is what I mean. It's like half the people on the internet you don't know, and I'm maybe she didn't mean it that way, but like I said, people are still gonna get upset about it, and it doesn't matter that she didn't mean it that way.
Like,
It was said.
Yeah. Nemi was called out for it before. It
like,
happened like 2-3 months ago.
like Nemi herself, isn't she? Yeah,
Has she
trans.
apologized? Has like it all been hashed out?
I don't know, but I ain't fucking with Nemi after
I mean,
comments like that.
Nemi. I mean, I've heard like, look, listen, I've heard Nemi say some like, out there stuff, but I was just used to it at that point. But there are some things or some people that end up saying stuff that they mean wholeheartedly because they've seen it occur.
Yeah, that's why whenever I say something, I make it very full-heartedly known that that is not what I meant to say. Like, and if it causes a problem, I clearly clarify that.
Yeah, I just wanted you to like
I mean,
be able to take a minute and address it because your name was brought up last night.
Yeah,
Olive, are you still here?
but I'll have a talk with Nemi because me and her are pretty close.
Do you want to see something that grinds my gears?
yeah, but what was said last night? Was it just about the topic of the live of what I said?
It was the whole thing on Blue, because Blue has been problematic to multiple people. So there was a whole like 4 hour, 5 hour call out live on Blue.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
grinds your
but
gears?
my main problem, I do have something to say, real
Mm-hmm.
quick, is my main problem is wasn't the fact that like Freyla and Fritz called me out. It was the fact they had Blue there. I could understand, wanting an apology for Blue, which is what I did, and for Blue to kind of air everything out. But it was almost, it felt, I don't know, it felt like, I don't know. I don't know how it felt. I just felt, I wasn't uncomfortable or angry. I just felt like, I feel like what Blue was Blue had done was being excused, because then Blue was like, I help all these people, I help all these people, and they never know. Not one of them said, no, you don't. Like, no one brings up like the fact that she was harming the community. They just wanted her to up there to yell at me, which felt harmful to wanting to hash things out, because like I really was wanting to hash things out. They would not let me, like, no one let me speak. I'm like really wanting to hash it out, and I just I don't know. I mentioned I'm not going to talk about it. I have proof of stuff, and I just don't want to get any more trouble.
So
Yeah.
this person says that she's a nurse. She goes by Mel B.
Oh God, yeah. See, that was my best friend. That was my best friend.
She stated to be a nurse, Olive, and then look at her badge.
And you see how people like compare me to really bad people, because I don't fucking know. Like I don't look at red flags.
Yeah, she says that she's a nurse. I lied about my job to y'all, LMAO. She's been lying about being a nurse for years.
What on earth?
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Like she had called me. Like, oh God, even today. Today I have another threat of tornadoes. It's fucking ridiculous. But I called her the day after the storm, um, Sunday, because another tornado had hit here.
I'm sorry,
And
Ophelia, but very quickly, because I'm in the middle of a game. So yeah, she even doxed one of her patients on Discord. She put on their sex offend case and everything for one of her patients. So yeah, she like doxed them completely on Discord. One of the
wow.
patients. And she said she doesn't want to take care of them.
What on earth?
Yes. So that's some tea.
That is vile
And
behavior.
then she's completely like ableist and racist throughout all these, but that's another call out for another day. But yeah, she claims to be a nurse. She's not a nurse. ID to Echo and Katie. So
This is just really frustrating. I mean, she literally was my best friend. Like, and Mama got really mad at me and removed me because she thought like I knew what was going on with Mel. I guess Mel was just really good at hiding that. And I'm like, what is going on now? And I saw Mel in Leah's live. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they came up there like, oh, so you support Mel? I'm like, no. Like, what is going on? What is who I'd say think they are.
Like Ophelia, I don't demand, like I don't expect perfection from everybody, because people fuck up. Like I've made microaggressions myself. There's stuff you don't know until you know. It's what happens afterwards, if you learn and grow from it, is what I look for.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, that's the difference, is I actually wanted to hash this out and actually wanted to learn what I said, which is why they were okay with, like, just being okay. I don't think we'll ever go back to being besties, but at least I made actually the effort to learn what I said and never say it again. It's just when that many things, but there's like the ableism, the racism, her faking being a nurse, which I honestly thought she was a nurse, because she literally would call me all the time and I'd see her badge and I'd never register that it didn't say nurse. It said, what, frickin' desk sergeant or something? Secretary? I didn't.
Wild.
Like, I've literally left all Discord because like I don't know who's safe anymore, and me being involved with them apparently makes me evil. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've even thought about leaving TikTok. Like, even if it doesn't get nannered, I plan on leaving it, because like,
Hold on. Where's my bun?
I was
No,
a
bun has.
small circle of people that I even trust myself because of that situation, and honestly, those are the only people opinions I care about. My supermods, I just hold them a higher up when it comes to accountability.
I mean, I I knew Nimi for shoot, I think more than a year now because I've been on TikTok for like 3 years. I'm pretty sure, almost.
Yeah, just about.
But and Uh, Buns and I are uh we uh we got off on the wrong foot. I'm pretty sure. I can't even remember what happened, but or what all occurred. I know what happened. It's just I never really understood the whole situation that happened. It was all in one live too. You know how I like to put my little backgrounds up when I'm sitting up here? They're my little emotes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had one of when when Has Been Hotel was relatively popular, and I ended up having a terrible, terrible hyperfixation on it.
Relatable.
I had one of the backgrounds on there of Alistair specifically,
W.
and somebody kept turning, huh?
W. Alistair.
Real.
So, um, I ended up having the little background of Alistair on, one of my little emotes, and my background kept getting turned off, and I didn't know who it was by a mod, and I asked politely, I was like, "Hey, look, can you stop turning off my background? That's something that kind of keeps me calm during, debate spaces." And nobody would kind of speak up on what was going on, and eventually, um, Buns and I ended up having a disagreement where I was like, okay, look, listen, if this is uncomfortable for you, then that's fine. I'll use another emote, but please, just for next time, let me know and don't just turn off my background and not say anything, because then that confuses the hell out of me. So then um, I ended up saying um, the wrong pronoun once on accident, which normally I'm very good about not doing that. And immediately I was like, no, 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 wait, wait, wait. They, them, they, them, they, them. Sorry about that. And that's when we had the ex- uh, between
You're going robot.
was a slip because again I was talking to somebody. What? Oh, 1 second. My bars are
You're
being what? Okay, there we go. So basically, I ended up saying the wrong pronoun on complete accident, which is my fault, and I immediately apologized for it. And there was still that tension, that disagreement, and they have had me uh, blocked, I think, ever since. And which if they want to keep me blocked, that's fine. I completely understand. Some people just don't want to associate uh, with me, and that's completely fine. I just wanted to tell my side. I'm not upset. I'm not angry about it. But something very similar with Nemi. Uh, Nemi and I go way, 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 way back. To where um, where Summer Breezy was still online and still a popular figure at the time before it was found out that Summer Breezy was a predator. So we ended up, separating from her, me
yeah.
and Nemi both. So we went through that hard time together, me and her. So if Nemi says something normally that's like, extremely out there, I'm very used to her saying those things. I might just be a little bit tone deaf to it, I guess. Um, but if she did do something that's reprehensible, I will talk to her about it myself. It's just I don't think I can lose.
So I've been modding for Blue for quite a while, almost a year. Even if I wasn't in the box, I was in the comments modding along with Mel, by the way. That's where I met Mel. Um, so I was kind of there just one day, chilling out, modding, and being mean to people sometimes, because sometimes I gotta be mean. Um, and I was sitting there, and I noticed that there was someone in their quest. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a person there. This might be fun. They have a lot of followers. So I let up this person, and it was Christy. But they weren't using their normal Christy account. They used some like weird profile picture.
Newport Nancy.
Hmm?
That's her Newport Nancy profile.
Nope, not even that one. It was a different one.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember what it was, but it had like when she came up, and you know how you have like color on your background next to your face and whatnot. It was orange. That's all I know. Um, so yeah, so we started talking to her, me and Mel. I guess Mel didn't, and Mel who know who this was because they just did not want to interact. Um, so Christy started doing her stuff, and she started using slurs, and that's what was one of the rules in Blue's Lives. If you slur, you're gone. So I drop her. And all of a sudden she's back up. I'm like, what? And Blue's like, so, Christy hasn't really done anything wrong. I'd really like it if we just, like, leave her there and be cordial and respectful to Christy. I'm like, okay. So Christy stays up longer. And I'm like, debating Christy, and Christy starts being disrespectful and causing other problems to other people that were in the panel, and obviously really making them really uncomfortable. So I dropped them again. And Christy comes back up, and Blue is once again like, guys, once again, Blue hasn't really done anything that wrong. Please just, leave her alone, and let's be cordial and respectful. Send a blah, 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 subscribe, blah, 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 follow, all that bullshit. And so I'm like, okay. And Mel eventually expressed her concern that she did not want Christy up there because she was obviously upsetting me and upsetting everyone else. And so we dropped her again. Blue then came back on, because what's weird is Blue is just normally asleep and normally doesn't have any idea what's going on. That's the most time we were running her live. I was like co-host, so I was dropping her for a reason. She kept letting her up. So eventually, she comes back up. Christy just comes sits there, and I notice that a bunch of Christy's lackeys starts flooding in. I'm like, okay, this is not going to be good. Everyone is disrespecting me in the comments, and just being not so very nice. I am sitting there, and Christy's like, hey, Blue, can I pull up the slideshow that I did yesterday? And Blue's like, no, I don't think. Actually, wait, you totally should. So I'm like, what is the slideshow? And they won't tell me. And I'm like, what is a slideshow? Like, I want to make sure it's, for TOS, like, make sure it isn't going to go against TOS. And they're like, it's a surprise. And I just have a gut feeling, and I'm not liking what it's going to be. And I'm sitting there, Christy comes back up, vanishes for a second. And Mel leaves. Mel just vanishes. Mel's like, I cannot watch this. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I asked Blue Blue, what is going on? Like, can you tell me, please? And Blue continues, it's a surprise. So I'm like, okay. So I sit there, Christy comes back, and she starts putting up profile pictures of pre-transition trans, so she couldn't get answered for it as a form of hate. And I'm like, what? So here's when Christy brings up a profile picture of me from 2017, by the way, 2017, from my Facebook that I made in 2017. I don't know how the hell she found it, because it is very private information to me. Everyone does know my real name. Like, it's not really something I don't have out there, because, like, people just kind of get to know my name, especially when I bring up, like, my information on Roe v. Wade and stuff like that, and me and Times Records. So my name is public. She must have found it through there, but she used a photo of me when I was 17 and told me I was hot and that I should, go back to being a man. Which didn't make me feel very nice. It was like a picture of me with like a smolder face. I then proceeded to drop Christy, and Blue let her back up. And what actually caused this was Christy, and I have proof of this. I have proof of Christy doing this, because I had Christy come into my live about a couple weeks ago to get the proof Mel was there, and Christy sent two $10 payments to Blue to do the slideshow. And that's $20, by the way. People can do math, but that's $20 that Christy sent to Blue on Cash App to do the slideshow. And I'm like, what the fuck? And Blue was condoning this. So I'd obviously felt really disrespected. She disrespected my friends. Darcy 2.0 was on that. Mars was on that too. A couple of my other friends. And Blue saw my face and said absolutely nothing about it, did not say a single word, knowing that it was going to affect me. And so I said, Blue, you were using the trans people to monetize yourself. You were a horrible person. Please go sit and spin on a razor blade. And I left. Now, hang on, before people start screaming at me. I started crying, went to Fritz. I told Fritz what happened. And she tried to condone my behavior for what I said. And I said, do not condone that. Like, that was a bad thing to say. Like, don't condone that, because people were condoning it. And like I said, I'm a person that will tell the truth with any embellishments. That is what I said. And she said, you need to, like, that was good for you for saying that. Good for you. Like, you know, you were, I'm like, that's not okay. Like, I know what I said now is not okay. Like, in the moment I was full of rage, but that was not okay. These people were condoning it. That's the difference I know. I know something's not okay when I say it. Like, and if it's wrong, I need to be informed. Like, I want to know. I don't know why they were condoning it. Like, I guess they were condoning it because of, like, I was angry. I don't really know. But that is when things started. Blue started coming into my lives, telling me that I'm lying, that she would never do such a thing, because no one was recording it, and because she removed me as moderator when I lost my shit, I could not get access to live recording either. Mel did not have live access to the recording because she was on an account that did not have live access yet, so that wasn't working there either.
Yeah, I just want to say this is why, like, I record lives that they're in, because they deny shit that they do. So.
Ooh, Mars, stop. So I need to talk to you about that then. Because you just stated a lot earlier that you still mod for her and you platform for her, even though all this happened.
No, I used to mod for her. I go into her comments sometimes and at least try to like inform people or say like, hey, can you message me? I don't want to really talk about it too much because like I've said, we've mentioned that like we are just aren't going to talk about it and that we moved on, everything's been apologized for. I still want people to know, but I'm in fear of being deplatformed for talking about Blue because I was threatened for deplatform. And I don't really want that. So
Okay,
I've been
I'll
trying to keep
platform
quiet.
you. No, I don't care. I'll platform you. Echo will platform you. Anyone
Yeah,
else will platform you.
Scotty's done this to you
Scott,
and Fritz and a few other people.
you do not deserve to get. I'm sorry, I don't care if they threaten to deplatform you or anything. You do not deserve and lower yourself to that position where you have to bow down just because they threaten to deplatform you. I'm sorry, it's TikTok. But just because it's TikTok, it does not mean that they get to degrade you and disrespect you.
Yeah, that's not that play.
Also, I did want to mention, I did not apologize on the fact that I was about to be deplatformed. It was a sincere apology. Like, and what was really frustrating to me is I even went into, because Blue, after, you know, she got nanned for something, I went onto her baby Blue and she was live, and I said, I sent you a message. I told her multiple times that I sent her an apology, and she still hasn't read it. And I'm like, so what was all this for then? What was all this threatening and
She does it
disrespect
for
and
attention. She does not care. She does everything for attention. We noticed that last night. We pointed that out yesterday. If you have 2 hours to spend, then I would go watch the YouTube video and speed it up to like times 2.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, because I don't know if you were here either, I did say those things, they were brought up. We eventually, like, I apologized to everyone. Everyone understood what I was saying. Because, like I said, I didn't know, like, I was comparing her to a person that unalived BLK people. That was not my stance at the time. I was comparing her to someone who harmed their own community, and I shouldn't have made that claim, and I learned that. That's why we moved on. We aren't
E-Girl
exactly.
was the other account, by the way.
I'm sorry?
E-Girl was the other account, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Envy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they've been here. She
That
just
makes
swapped
sense. Also, you were literally so fucking beautiful. Like, I was scrolling and, like, I hadn't realized I'd follow you. I'm like, holy shit.
Thank you.
Oh. Hi, Bowie.
Hey, Bowie.
Hi,
Bowie.
hi, Bowie. Did I follow them? Nope.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Ooh. Why
I
shouldn't we
have
follow Bowie?
I'm really
y'all
sorry,
don't
Bowie's
know.
been
Kenzie. I've
called
got.
out for stuff. I
Oh.
haven't.
Yeah,
What?
'cause I don't interact anymore. They can follow me. I don't anymore. Mainly because I don't even interact with that friend group anymore because of like literally everyone.
Millie, I need your age,
Uh,
please.
Millie. Age, pronouns, date of birth, social security number,
Shoe
nope.
size?
mother's maiden name,
No? Okay.
Nope.
Oh,
Bye.
address, credit card number.
I was gonna say I have to go, but it was lovely meeting everybody, and I followed you all. Honestly, great conversation. Love you all.
Yeah, awesome meeting you. Thank you for coming in.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I swear I followed like Aylin like 5 times. My TikTok is glitching out so bad. It's like, oh, you followed this person? No, you didn't.
Oh, I remembered what I wanted
Keeps
to say
gaslighting
because
me.
I had my hand up in the comments, so I wanted to say this again. If someone has a problem with me, come to me first because I'm literally going to tell you the truth without any embellishments. Like that's why I even made up the people when this situation happened. I made sure that people know that I said that. Like in the first live when Blue did the GC thing and I said that to Blue. I made sure people knew that because if people didn't know that, they would just be like, well, why did you say this and not talk about it? You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
will tell you the truth without any embellishments. And I will tell you the truth without any embellishments. So like I'm trustworthy on the account that I will tell you the truth. I am not trustworthy on the fact that I don't notice red flags. So yeah.
Interesting.
Bowie, I'm just not getting between because I don't know all the details there, and I'm not going to speak on it. But I I heard you had an issue with me, or you're saying stuff about me, which is why I haven't looked spaces or I've scrolled out of your lives because I didn't know if you really had an issue with me. You just never said anything.
Nope, it's because like whenever I scroll by and I see any form of panel of opposition, I expect everyone there to be opposition. It's because like
Oh,
that's usually how it is, kind of like with our live in it.
oh yeah, no. I panel friendlies, oppositions. I go all over the place. I
Yeah, at
don't.
least that feels consistent.
Yeah, I don't do the
Yeah,
yelling.
Bowie, I understand. I'm just saying you just shouldn't follow random people. Like I don't even follow random people. I stopped doing
Yeah,
that. Like I get to know everyone first. But yeah, I just oh,
yeah. I don't. I
it's
also
just so
don't
old.
support or believe in cancel culture. Like I hate it. I've always said, okay, when we have conversation, what's the way forward, and what does that look like?
And if there's no way forward, that's when you get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I understand that. Like something that's really happening on live that's like really bad is like what I said, if you're connected to the person at all, you are deemed an immediate threat. Um that's not how it really needs to be because when you perceive that person to be an immediate threat, they don't even know what the hell is going on. Like a lot of these people were very easily manipulated or manipulative, so you just don't know.
Hmm.
And I feel like that kind of needs to stop because for what's saying what I said, that needs to stop. Like if they had an issue, they should have came to me, not attack Fritz or Freya, because I was the one that said it. And at the end of the day, even though I apologized, people are still affected by it, and I do claim that, and I understand that. Like, and that is the difference. You'll bring up people who did something wrong, and they probably will not, understand that. And like, I don't know. It just like they're going to be doing their own thing in their own lives. You just don't have to interact with them. There's no need to like scream at them across the internet because it's the fucking internet. Like people say literally stupid shit. No, I'm not condoning that, but it's TikTok. Just don't interact with them.
Hmm.
Remove them. Tell other people not to remove them, or tell people to remove them. Mel, because her wife left her. That's not a good thing to do. Like that's not fun. That's not funny to make fun of a person's partner for leaving them or talking about the tea about it. Like that's just not an okay thing to do. You know, I feel like we go too far. Like they were legit because their wife walked out, and that's just not an okay thing to do. Hi, Annie.
Hey, Annie. We're just having a convo. That's all.
I'm done with straight men.
Yeah.
I say
I'm
that
done
so
with,
many times and I still end up talking to them.
I'm done with cisgender men. Like,
And they're like, no, because people are blocking me out of nowhere, and I don't know what's going on. And I
See,
said, well,
like
I don't have a problem with you.
the
Why are
person
you?
needs to be informed. Like you need to be informed about what's going on. Like if they just have
Yeah,
a problem with you, it's okay for them to block you. Like that's their
yeah.
right. But you should still at least know what's going on because you're probably literally sitting there in the dark, like, what is going on? I personally haven't heard anything, by the way. Otherwise, I would tell you. But like I said,
yeah.
I
There's a lot of
uh,
people that go around this app lying about me and paint me out to be this horrible person, and it's just not true.
Well, I mean, you are problematic, Echo, in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows.
but
you're the problem.
I know the real you, Echo.
another
Absolutely.
problem that I've witnessed is when you do bring up someone and they choose to completely deny it. Like I don't want to talk. God. Because like every time I bring it up, they're like, "Oh, you're insane! You're freaking crazy!" They would never say stuff like that. They would never do that. They have people who like make other
Oh, that's
accounts of them,
ableist.
huh?
That's ableist.
Yeah, and I don't I just don't know who to fucking talk about anymore. Like either I say someone's name and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're so positive," and I go to them and like, "Oh, they're so bad." Like I'm talking about Tyler J. Reese. Like I I've had many encounters, especially in opposition lives. God, I don't want to talk about this, but here we go. I've had many like problems on like opposition lives where I've been like verbally attacked and he's been sitting there and he just doesn't say a single word. Knowing me, by the way, I've interacted with him on multiple accounts. And it's like where's the camaraderie? Like you think that you would say like, hey, don't talk to her like that or something like that? No, nothing. They're pro life and Christian. Um, and it's like there are people like, oh, they're nice. I'm like, it's like you think that trans people can't be T-phobic. Like, let's take a good look at what the frick's her name? Caitlyn Jenner. There you go. There's a good example.
I
What
wouldn't say
about
they're phobic.
I wouldn't say she's transphobic. Just because we're trans, we're not a monolith.
Right.
We're not gonna all believe the same things, and we're not all gonna have the same beliefs. Look, E girl is my trans daughter, but we have different positions on what it is to be a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm friends with Echo and everything like that, and I respect their pronouns and everything like that. But I don't. We have different positions on what on how we believe what is the standard to be a trans woman.
Right.
And I mean, I understand that, and he and I have like talked about like actually talking, but it's just my main issue that like not helping other people that are being verbally assaulted. Like I will do that for any y'all too. By the way, like if y'all have a problem, I may seem cutesy and kind, but I do have my BPD moments, and I will
Hi,
target.
Miss
Not the
Divergent. Hi,
BP moment.
Divergent.
Sorry
Yeah,
about the
and
loud
people
noise.
and
I
my
just
friends are like,
I don't
my
know.
friends like,
I feel like in that situation, Ophelia, when you go on an opposition live, you know what I'm saying, you have to really like know what you're walking into, and you kind of have to numb your feelings and everything like that, and come in with like a brave face and and stand your ground. I don't think it's anybody's what's the word I'm looking for? Um I don't think anybody's responsible to protect anybody in a situation. I think at the end of the day, when you go into a live, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. TikTok is not a safe space, and you have to be ready for what people are going to say to you. If I always tell people, if you don't have the emotional spoons, perfectly understandable. There are other people who are willing to advocate and everything like that, and can take the brunt and have the emotional spoons. But if you don't, then you have to stand back and just be like, hey, you know what? I need to collect myself. This is just not the space for me.
Yeah.
yeah, understandable, and I guess that's where we have different views. Because like, where's the camaraderie? You know what I mean? It's like if we stay divided for like the opposition to literally pick us apart, like
So
that was my problem. Is like I
I don't
expect
think
another trans person to be there. I guess I shouldn't have done that. I don't know,
But that's
I
where
but
don't think it's
that's
a
where you went
matter
wrong,
of
baby.
like standing.
The word you used there was expectations. You can't put expectations on people.
Hmm.
People are
I
going to
guess
let
I
you
agree
down,
on
and
that.
I think when it comes to like protecting mental health, like we're responsible for our own mental health and protecting that. And if the conversation gets to you, it's okay to walk away. If it gets
Mhm.
too much, it's okay to say, you know what, I need a break. I'm going to step away from this. I may or
Mhm.
may not be back. And
Look,
I've done that myself.
I,
And people can call it running if they want. I don't care. It's about
and like
protecting your own mental health.
Divergent is one of my mods when I used to go live, and I always make it perfectly well known to any of the people that I'm close to when they come to my life, even Echo. Don't correct anybody if they misgender me or whatever the case may be. I'm not sensitive about pronouns. I don't need affirmation from society to tell me that I'm a woman. I wake up every day and when I look at myself in the mirror, I have to be the motherfucker to be convinced, and I'm convinced. I don't need to
Right.
convince you. I'm convinced already at the end
Like
of the
I
day.
don't.
You can call me a man, a he, a she. I'll be the most beautiful Puerto Rican Filipino man for you.
No,
Let's get to the conversation.
no.
That's
I
that
don't
that's what I'm here
correct
for.
people when I'm in opposition live if they misgender me or anything like that. Like they're just trying to get a rise out of
Exactly.
it.
I'm not gonna feed into
I
that
only
shit.
do it in my spaces.
Ooh.
I don't get sensitive about the misgendering or anything like that. I'm not here to argue my existence in the world. If you want to have a conversation, I'm more than willing to have a conversation with you. But at the end of the day, like I tell anybody who has come to my life, my community has existed and has been here before your mom, put her D suckers on your dad's winker.
I guess I understand it from that point. I
I
probably
have a
just was
very
already
int-
having a really bad day that day. That's probably what it was.
I have a very interesting question actually.
Yeah,
Does
I just
anybody
need.
know what two spirit is?
Two Spirit, yes, Two Spirit is an indigenous
Close
identity.
practice that we use. Why?
I don't believe that being Two Spirit is trans in my opinion, because where I believe being trans is about self and a self transition. Those people were matriarchs and something higher and more of value to their community than I could ever be. I could never live up to
I,
that. Like and
Yeah,
everything like
I would say when it comes, it's just a cultural based. So when you're trans, it's more cultural based than anything.
that.
Where in indigenous culture, our culture is more based on um, it'll be two spirit for our culture. But it's a close
uh,
practice, so I don't tend to talk about it freely online.
I didn't
yeah,
grow up.
I was only asking because I Mohican tribe is what my dad's tribe is, and I don't know nearly enough.
Well, the thing is this: if you wanna get in close roots to that part of your culture, because I always tell people, if you didn't grow up in that culture, it's just really not your culture. You know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
because you have descendants of that culture, like look, Puerto Ricans have Taino in them and everything like that, but I didn't grow up with the knowledge of that group in my culture, so I can never shut up, Alex. Um, so.
I love you.
um I didn't grow up with
I
that proximity, so I would never like claim it or anything like that. I would love to learn more about the culture and everything like that, but that I have to make that effort when I go to visit Puerto Rico to know more about the people, know more about the camaraderie and that group of individuals, and learn more about myself.
I mean, I
And
can
I have
always
not,
teach
I
you.
have not, and I have not taken the time to do that. So
See, I will
just a regular
claim
old. I'm just a regular old Tranie.
I will claim Taino because it is in my family history. It is in my lineage, and I am trying to take time to reconnect and learn more about it,
Mhm.
to have greater understanding. So I do claim it, but at
have
the
a
same time, I do
question.
specify it. I am white.
Sorry, the fear is real. I this is going to be the third time in the span of sorry, I'm trying to figure out 2 weeks ago. Tornado hit Jonesboro. Sunday, a tornado hit. Yesterday, a tornado hit, and now today, I'm under another tornado watch. Tornadoes are my biggest fear. I don't. I guess I need some resources on like how I could get help moving. Um, I'm under another current tornado watch. I'm sorry to derail that. Like I literally just had to go into the shelter yesterday, like just yesterday. Um,
There's a lot of organizations, Ophelia. I don't know if you're trans, but I know everything like that, because I'm like I said, my ears being in all different places. But I think there's a organization that will help relocate you even to like one of I guess one of the very little safe haven states that we have and everything like that, and help you
Mhm.
get an apartment and everything like that.
yeah,
I
I've
heard
heard of
one of the places even is
Washington,
even
Oregon.
Minnesota, and
I've
whatchamacallit.
heard of the Gender Justice League. Um, they they can help you in Washington, but I don't have like a physical way to Washington
Mhm.
because I don't have a car. I can't be here anymore. Like it's becoming too many close calls. Like it literally went by our house yesterday. Like my mom was here, I was at the shelter, and it went right by. Um, there's even a video on my other TikTok, where it shows the damage of the school that I was in. I don't know what to do.
I would call the trans hotline. They actually have the number for the organizations that can help you. So like, and I've called them before because I wanted to see what was available to me while I recovered from FFS, right? So because I couldn't, but they're a really good resource. Also, P.S. They're hiring for people who are trans right now.
Get back, Oscar.
I think that would be a really good look to relocate and everything like that, and be in a better state, start anew, start a little fresh.
I understand that. I had to go look outside real quick. It's getting a little dark. Um, I can't tell y'all how ridiculous it is because I've lived here for over a year. Last tornado season, we didn't get a single one. I never witnessed a tornado until 2 weeks ago, when like I was running in pitch black darkness, with sirens all around me, trying to run to the school for safety. Um, I don't, y'all. I cannot even like. I can't even be dramatic. Um, this
I
the storm that
completely
happened. The
I
storm that
completely
happened
understand you.
yesterday was it actually swept across I think about 6 states of the southern area, and it was
Mhm.
recorded as the worst thunderstorm in 36 years. Um, just
Mhm.
my luck to be right here. Um, and people don't think climate changes exist, but where we were, like where I am living right now in Jonesboro, Arkansas, is was not even close to being on the tornado alley map. Like Arkansas was not in the tornado alley map like Oklahoma and everything else up was.
Hmm.
It is just ridiculous. Like that is why I also haven't been on TikTok, guys, because like I don't know anything that's going on, like anything with anyone. I've literally been too busy sitting in a shelter.
Yeah, I
So
Anything I'm
completely
missing.
yeah.
this too shall pass. You know what I'm saying? Just just like reach out to what Mars was telling you to reach out to, and then like see just create a game plan, and maybe which we'll call it I or either Echo and everything. Maybe we could even help you try to get a little plane ticket to get you to your new location.
Because, y'all, oh my god, my mom is so bad about this, guys. She will sit there. She will sit there as the sirens go off, making her coffee, and I'm like, we need to go now. So when she didn't go yesterday, a tornado hit about 10 minutes away, and there were cars through houses. It was an EF4. Cars through houses, brick buildings just gone. And I'm like, you should have gone with me, because like that could have been here, and our tiny 10 foot tall apartment isn't gonna do crap. But
Yeah.
I've been thinking about.
So you said you're in Arkansas, right?
I'm in Arkansas, yeah.
Arkansas. So I am actually in Kentucky. So I promise, I absolutely feel your pain, especially after December 10th, 2022. What happened in Kentucky was a fucking nightmare for all of us because that tornado was an EF4 and completely flattened that candle factory in Mayfield, and it completely demolished a lot of elderly homes near a local church that I live next to. And like one one of the worst stories I heard was one of my dad's friends had just got his house built, and he's a single father with a child, with a little girl. Um, she doesn't, her mother had passed away the year prior to cancer. So he had just got this big, huge house built for him and his daughter, and the tornado had come, and they went down to the cellar basement, and they came out, and he said that they saw nothing but daylight, that the house was completely gone, that there was nothing except for the foundation. That's how powerful that tornado was that tore through Kentucky. And the, since this past, storm season, and that was December 10th, we were not prepared right before Christmas. It's called the Nightmare Before Christmas, by the way.
That's the current
Oh yeah,
storm.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, shoot,
There's
we
my
were
there's my
terrified.
little blue dot. Yeah, let me show you guys the damage it did to the school that I was in. Gaslight me and tell me that I won't have a home if I decide to come back. Like what? Why am I gonna leave then? But I'm kind of gaining to the
That makes my skin crawl. I don't like that.
that wall standing there was the room that me and my mom were in. That's the room that's still there. So if, like it hits it again,
To withstand that kind of weather
and I think that's ridiculous.
because
We do
again, we're not supposed to. We are now because they've moved it, but we were not supposed to be in.
which isn't the very best design because it does have glass windows. And I'm like, how is that? How is that safe? But
Yeah, no. Uh, Sometimes when I kind of wonder how prepared we are.
in the horror story, okay. So I had never witnessed a tornado before, like ever been in a tornado warning, nothing. Not even an earthquake warning, nothing. And I was just kind of sitting here, and the alarm goes off. Well, no, it actually hadn't yet. They were issuing the tornado watch. The wind was really bad, and I was like, Mom, we really need to kind of like find a safe place because we had never made a plan because we'd never experienced it. So we didn't know what we were doing. So I called the sheriff's office, was like, hey, where do we go? And they said, well, the school right down the street is open. So I said, okay. So I'm like, Mom, we need to go. And she's sitting there making her coffee. That is when the sky starts lighting up pink, and I see it in the distance. It's not at us yet, but I see it in the distance. And every single siren in town starts going up, and it's like a horror movie. My adrenaline started kicking in, and I don't run. I'm a fat bitch, so I don't run, and I ran. It was tornado sirens, flashings of pink and white. I couldn't see where I was going, and I was just run, 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 run. I get there to the school door and I see it coming at us and I scream. We all get inside, we put our heads down between our legs, and like that is when we heard all the clashing, the clattering, this loud roar, and after like a minute it was over. Like people don't realize that yeah, even though tornadoes are quick, they move fast, they still do damage in that amount of time that they're there. That is when we go outside and see like half the school is freaking gone, debris and stuff that did all that. Um, and my sister, that day, there were 8 tornadoes in the span of 3 hours. My sister, my cousin, my aunt, and my nephew got hit. Insanity. And they were recorded all as EF3s or EF4s. And the tornado that hit my sister, it is terrifying. So like I'm letting y'all know now, if any of y'all ever get a warning, don't like just sit there and don't just like chill. Freaking move.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And if you're in your car, I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're in your car, but
Yeah, I'm always in the basement, so that's why I normally don't move anywhere.
we don't have a
Not
basement. Like we literally live in one of the crappiest apartments. I live in the bad side of Jonesboro. And my apartment is, well, I can literally touch the roof. That's how tall it is. Um,
Oh,
and I can press on the wall, and the wall moves. Uh,
Ew.
I can
yeah,
only reach the ceiling in my house because I'm just tall. That's the only reason I can reach the ceiling here.
I can reach the ceiling because that's how high the ceiling and
As well.
yeah. And mom's like, my mom doesn't understand that if we were to stay in this tiny apartment, regardless of the bathroom, because it's a long one, we're all interconnected, kind of like a duplex, but multiple ones. She doesn't understand that, yes, while we're even in the center of the house, in the bathroom, this tiny apartment is not going to survive. Like, it's not.
Bruce, no, be safe.
I'm literally in Craighead. I'm in Jonesboro. But a renewable energy project I'm working on in Craighead. Yeah, that's where I'm living right now. I'm in Jonesboro. Um,
Well,
yeah,
not there. Oh.
you're still gonna get affected. It's still coming through all parts of Craighead. KIT just released. I want to make sure.
It's 2 p.m. I should be. Smalls, I get that way
Yeah,
too.
literally.
It's a lot. I'm right there with you. I'm ready for bed.
No, but I would probably go into my living room to watch KAIT. Please call the local sheriff's office and ask like what shelters are available when that is to happen. Look up the location and have a game plan ready to go there. I would not suggest staying anywhere other than either one of the schools or an actual like bus station because of like how it's an actual tornado shelter. Um, so you will get a good 5-10 minute warning. Once they see the cell rotating, they will immediately start the alarms. So it gives you some time to get in your car and get there. Um, you will see the tornado forming and starting. If it looks like it's staying still, it's coming towards you. But still, even if you get to hear that siren, or if you get a watch on your phone, immediately seek shelter. Do not play. There has been 8 tornadoes here in this side of Craighead in the span of 3 weeks. So it would be best for you to actually move when you hear it.
Here, what's up?
Where in Craighead are you right now? Are you in like Fort? Oh boy, I think my charge is broken.
Oh, yeah, he's not in Arkansas.
Oh well, what Craighead are you? What? Because like Craighead are.
Goose, are you doing it remote? Okay.
Oh. Oh, you aren't physically here right now. Oh, okay.
I get it. Hey, Mary.
Hey there. I just snapped that picture, and if you you don't have to put. We actually were in a glass building.
That looks like it was
Also,
maybe like 200-300 yards out.
I forgot to mention the tornado that hit here yesterday was upside down
Wait,
and
upside
anti
down?
and anticyclonic too.
But yeah, that tornado you have in your photo doesn't look like it's that far out either.
No, it wasn't. It was extremely close to our building. In fact, my manager told me a few days later that they didn't want to tell us how close it was. Um, but he did send us that picture a few days later, and we were all kind of huddled together in the hallway, um, and we were just like, and being in Texas for 20 years, this was probably the scariest one that I've ever encountered in 20 years. This is probably the closest one that's ever been near me, but it was wild.
Hey, when it's that close to you, like you could probably feel like that, feel like the wind of it. No.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
could feel you could feel the sound. I mean, it definitely felt like it was a
A freight
train.
train.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's probably the best word. You could hear it, and I mean, it was extremely scary. Oh, what do they call it? Hail damage. Because we didn't have garage parking at this particular office building, so the amount of cars that got damaged, broken glass, broken windows, everything.
That is terrifying.
It was. So I can literally say I've survived an earthquake or tornado, a
Hurricane.
blizzard, a hurricane.
A volcano eruption. So how fast do you think like the tornado like will move? Like can you outdrive it in a car? If you're in your car, can you outrun it?
And I don't know. Like, so tornadoes change direction and everything. So I don't know if you can necessarily outrun it. I think I
Yeah,
would
I
need
don't think you can
some.
I don't think you can outrun it. I doubt
Not
you'd
so
be
much
able to
outrun
outrun
it.
it.
No, no, like in your car. Like if you're in your car, you know, like the storm chasers. Can you outdrive
Yeah,
it? Is what I meant.
I would say because the chaos that's surrounding directly around the tornadoes, if you're close to them, there ain't no outrunning anything. Like it's just gonna be pure
Yeah,
chaos
you
and
probably.
destruction around.
Jeez. Can you imagine getting like sucked up into one and being like lifted off the ground and being like looking down and just like seeing like you're like flying basically like as high as the clouds?
So apparently, the one that actually hit us was upside down. Wait, hang on, let me see. Oh, of course it's not letting me see it. But this is the one that hit the school I was talking about, the one that I was in. Why is it still loading?
Just thought that Northeast never really got tornadoes
So
because we have like a lot of mountains and tornadoes like flat plains to like gain speed.
So
Yeah.
that was the one that hit us 2 weeks ago. That's the school right there, that white building.
Oh my God.
Here's the one that was headed outside my apartment.
Wow.
And
Bruce,
then
you remember like 6 months ago, Rome, New York had a tornado go through and destroy it?
No, I don't.
I'll
That's
have to send you pictures. I was in that tornado.
The Worcester tornado of 1953 is one of the worst ranked. It's up in one of the worst ranked in Worcester, Massachusetts. Believe it or not.
that was yesterday, by the way. That's Lake City.
Wow.
That's the one that hit Lake City. That's 15 minutes from us. Not the lightning looking for like a cute little photo moment.
I was just saw on a map, so it's crazy that you that I came into this live and are searching that area on a map.
But yeah, so I won't let me bring up the picture for some reason, I guess. So you guys know what like an actual like say I guess like a normal funnel is? Like just like your normal handheld funnel?
Mm-hmm.
So you know if you hold it right way, like the big part is facing upwards and the small part is facing down, kind of looks like a tornado? Turn it upside down. The big part but I don't
I guess depending on where you are in the country, you're at risk of different types of natural disasters.
That the houses down here don't have basements. I'm like, why don't considering the possibilities down here of tornadoes that they don't build houses with tornadoes. To me, that was just really mind-boggling
That
when I moved down
that's
here.
really odd. I could
Yeah.
understand like Florida, like homes in.
In rooms.
So what happened? Like, so you get all these displaced people. Where do they go?
FEMA comes in. They usually set them up in hotel rooms, or they have to go like stay with family if they can. Insurance companies come in and assess like the cost of the damage. FEMA helps out with stuff. Then it's just clean up and rebuilding, and it takes months to rebuild and clean up.
Holy cow! I see all the power lines are down. The poles are.
It's a lot.
Makes you very grateful and thankful for the things that you have, right? When you see things like this and people lose everything, all the everything that they have. Yeah, what is that? A shape with four sides. Oh, come on, man.
It's a square. Yeah, tornadoes are ridiculous. So, but I'm used to them because I grew up in the South for a good part of my childhood, and we always dealt with them.
Okay, let me see if it lets me do it now. Yes, here we go. This is an anticyclonic tornado.
Whoa!
So it looks like it's wearing a dress, and it actually forms upside down.
Oh, that's
That
wild.
is terrifying.
Oh my God!
Wow.
What is it sitting on top of? Is it? I just see clouds.
Yep,
Is it?
that's it.
Is it like touching down on something?
It was probably in the middle of getting ready to touch down. Hang on here.
That looks like the end of the world is
I
coming.
know. Um, Mary, were you there? Oh, I think Springfield is close to. I think Springfield is like 45 minutes.
Springfield, Massachusetts is in eastern Massachusetts. Worcester
Right. It's in.
is central.
Yeah. Yeah. Springfield is
Went to
west
college in
of.
Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield is west of Boston. I mean, it's you have the main. It's Boston, Worcester, and then Springfield.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
Those
it
are
mean,
goes. It
the
goes Warren, Palmer, Springfield,
Yep. Yeah,
Worcester,
those are out
Boston.
at the western. That's the western part of Massachusetts before you get into New York.
for 10 years.
No way. Mercury just brought up a really good point. So remember I was telling you guys the fact that like the wind was like throwing me around, but there wasn't a tornado yet. Makes more sense now that they usually start from winds on the ground. And
Oh, Trump just signed a save TikTok for another 75 days.
What?
Darn, I wanted another crash out from people.
Remember last time people were just
Oh
like,
yeah.
Wait, so it's still very.
I'm gonna expose everybody, and then it didn't go away.
No.
So it's still very possible.
What if I want to identify as a triangle?
That was really, really, really bad.
That was
That was,
good.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go look at the forecast.
All right.
that was
Square lives
awful.
matter.
Square lives matter.
Well, let's.
Echo, I went live earlier on my main account, and within like 5 minutes, my live got banned.
What the heck? I know they've
For,
changed
Yeah.
for
their rules and stipulations and gotten stricter.
Do you know, I don't even on comments in my content that people leave for me because I'll reply to people and my comments will get reported. I'll like go in and there'll be like 8 comments that were like flagged that I have to go in and appeal. So
Mhm.
I don't even,
It's almost not
I,
even worth it half the time.
I had to appeal some comments I left on some of your posts, Goose. I'm like,
unbelievable.
what? Like nothing I said
No.
was
I just
Like,
wanted to actually mainly to come up to say, Gus, that was probably the most dad thing I've ever heard leave somebody's mouth in this app.
well, you know what? Thank God there's only 25 people in here who were listening. It just kind of like came out. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can make a dad joke.
Yeah, you don't need to be a dad.
It's just you
Go
are,
ahead.
which
I
makes it
am.
better.
Oh God, I am. Yeah, believe me, I live for embarrassing my
Is
to
it
a
not
to a
basically the only
to a
reason to become a parent?
to a um no, so you'll have like little people to take care of you when you're old and can't take care of yourself. That's why you have kids. Um, no. So my oldest, it's fun. It's fun to tease them. Listen,
Yeah.
you made our lives uh like hell when you were like 0 to, I don't know, 3. So
Never.
I don't know. I'd say they
never.
make your life hell for 18 years.
Uh, uh, but at least when they're in like the single digits, they're young enough that they're still under your like control in a way, right? Like they're still listening to you. When they get older, they kind of form their own rebellious personality.
I have to admit I am thoroughly enjoying the empty nester syndrome for the last 8 years, 9 years. It's I love my daughter very much, but it is absolutely just keep that positivity.
I go through
So
that now.
So
so
there it
let me
is.
so let me ask you, Mary. So like, what's it like when your kids leave home and now it's just like you and your husband? Are you like, well, fuck, like how do we do things like we did before kids?
It absolutely was an adjustment at the beginning. No doubt it was an adjustment, but I also think it helped us not just be parents anymore. Not that we didn't have a husband wife relationship, but it just helped us to kind of refocus on us. Not that we didn't have date nights when she was, not that we didn't, make that time for each other. But it was all of a sudden like, oh, we can just go do this. Like, we can just go out to, like, it was just like an amount of like additional freedom, maybe. That's probably, and it helped us just to rediscover each other again in a different way, in a new way.
That sounds nice.
I don't know if my best friend comes over with her 4-year-old and drops him off at my house. It's like, I'll come back in a couple hours.
Yeah.
This whole baby fever thing's gonna disappear really quickly.
Get
Oh
get
yeah.
a get like a puppy or something, or a
I've
cat.
just got one. Wouldn't recommend.
That's why I had to laugh, Goose, when I sent you a picture and it was just a fireplace and the fire, and you were like, "It's so clean." And I'm like,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're like, and you were just like, "Where's all the stuff?"
Yeah, no. Me and my wife say all the time, like, you're not allowed to have nice things until your kids grow up and move out of the house. Can't have nice
A
furniture.
100%.
No,
A
no.
100%.
Can't have a nice car. I'm in my
Can't
dream
have
car, right?
glassware.
I'm in my dream car. Fucking Honda Odyssey. Told myself I'd never be that kind of parent with a minivan.
Goose with the minivan.
Yep.
Never gonna live that down.
I mean, it's just sounding like every other like American family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of like that's what trans people do.
I'm in the car line picking my kids up from school.
W.
Yeah. Nobody has these kind of conversations out and off TikTok.
No, just to confirm for all the GCs that are most definitely watching, like nobody in the general area is like questioning your identity right now, right?
No.
I
You know
don't
what?
think so. I don't think so.
I never talked about anything about my life until I came onto TikTok. Never. I never even like spoke of it to anybody. Do you know that when I got married to my wife's entire side of the family had no idea that I was trans. Isn't that crazy?
That's because if nobody had told me you were, I'd still sit in here having absolutely no clue.
I mean,
Wait, Ella, you never heard of Goose?
No, I knew. It's just it took. I think it was somebody who came up and told me. And I was like,
Oh.
"No, you're joking. You know."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people say that all the time.
Because if so, I feel like I've been catfished.
They what do they say? They say that by not disclosing, right? You're being, what is that? Mary, why is
deceitful?
Why is it red? Is that your husband?
One of my favorite pictures of my hubby and I.
Aww.
Is he older than you, Mary, or younger?
He's 2 years.
I can't see. Oh, he's a let me keep my eyes open when I kiss person.
Look at my lovely
weird though. Isn't that
Maybe
weird?
in that particular shot, yes.
Don't you think that's weird? Like when you're kissing somebody and like if for whatever reason you just like open your eyes and they're like staring at you.
This is my boyfriend.
Let me see.
This is him. Can you not see him?
Where are you? What are you in like a closet or something? Where are you?
No.
What is that? It's like a sleeping bag?
Oh, you're
It's a
sitting up
jacket.
against the door.
Jacket. I live in Scotland, remember?
What does that mean? Is it cold right now?
It hit 15 degrees today.
Degrees? Or Celsius? Is it Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
Oh shit.
It's
69 here right now.
Oh, right, okay. Right, you live your American life and leave
What does it look like in Scotland? Do you guys have I don't know. I would say let me see out your window, but I don't want you to like dox yourself.
No, it's all right. People have already put my address online. It's fine.
I want to see what the outside world of Scotland looks like.
Right. Well, your wish is my command.
Oh, look at that!
Check that out.
It looks like America.
Do you want to know why it looks like America?
Why is that?
Because we just copied you.
Guys, wait, say that again.
We just copied you.
I don't know what you said.
We copied you. We literally just took a typical American street and copied it.
Oh.
Yeah, they copied us.
We've done it for years.
Is Scotland the country where the men wear kilts?
Yes.
You see that a lot? The guys just
All the
walk.
time.
They do?
And 9 times out of 10, they are not wearing underwear underneath it.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. You just you freeball it.
Yep.
Just you go for it. It gets concerning when it's a windy day.
Makes you nervous.
Yeah, you get a bit. Oh, am I going to?
What is going on? Oh, Tabby, it looks like you're in like an everyday run of the mill. Like, what is that? Like a Walmart or where are you? That picture. Yeah, I think that's Walmart. Look at the people with the blue shirts.
I think so.
Ella, do you guys have Walmarts out in Scotland?
No, we don't.
You
We don't have
have
Target either.
you don't have Target. Do you have McDonald's?
We do have McDonald's.
Taco Bell?
We have Taco Bell.
Um, I can't even think of anything else. Like do you have like Macy's and like Bloomingdale's and like all these big department stores?
No.
You don't?
No.
Where do you guys go shopping? Do you have malls?
No. Well, I mean, we have what you guys would call a mall. We call it a shopping center.
Well, that's very different. Those are two very different things here in America. A shopping center and a mall are very different.
Your shopping center, our shopping center is your mall.
So when I think of a shopping center, I think of like a strip mall. Do you know what a strip mall is?
Yeah.
Okay. When I think of like a mall, I think of like one central location where you park and you go inside and all the stores are inside in one place. Yes, Bloomingdale's is still out.
I thought Bloomingdale's went out of business years ago, to be fair. No, we don't have any good stores over here. That's why every kind of 12 months I like to go to the States and stock up on everything.
You guys, are you guys known for any kind of sports, like here in America? A sports team?
Probably Celtic and Rangers.
What is that?
They're football teams. Sorry, they're soccer teams.
Wait, you guys do it backwards, right?
Yeah.
Backwards. America is the only place that football exists.
So soccer here, you kick with your feet?
Yeah, so you guys are the ones that have that backwards. That's football.
Yeah. We have it backwards. The world is called soccer football, and we have it backwards. Like the rest of the world doesn't really do football.
That is true. Like when you because like when you think about like some of the sports teams, like we do have teams in other countries. I mean, Canada, right? Hockey. Do you guys have hockey in Scotland?
We do.
Ice hockey.
Yes.
Scotland is known for speaking English, but no one can understand them.
I turn my Scottish accent off when I'm talking to people who aren't from Scotland. If I turn that back on, you're not going to understand a word.
You mean you're not talking with a Scotland accent right now? You sound really Scottish right now.
Right, hold on. See, Goose, now can you understand me?
I could understand you.
I can understand you.
Yeah.
That's a first. I feel accepted here.
I mean, I do Ella, but I've watched all the Train Spottings, and I listen to Belle and Sebastian and Camera Obscura a lot.
Yeah, Scotland also, like, the Scottish accent also depends on where you're from in Scotland. Because Glasgow and Edinburgh are two very different accents.
Or even the Shetland Islands are even worse.
Yeah, we are. They are worse.
Scotland just up north of the UK, right? No, that's Ireland. No, I'm getting it all mixed up. What's the country that's right above the UK? Is that Scotland?
You mean England? It's Scotland, right above England. The UK is the United Kingdoms of Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and England. And
Ireland. I got you.
Yeah, we're at the top.
Have you ever been to the island of Men? Is it called the island of Men or something?
It's the Isle of Man.
What is it?
The Isle of Man.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Are there a lot of men there?
Honestly, I didn't actually stop and ask them and I don't want to assume, but I'm just gonna say if I had to guess, I'm gonna go there probably was more men than women. But if I need to, I can go up and do a comprehensive study on this.
No, you don't have to. You don't need to.
Ella, Scotland is on my list because when I did my DNA ancestry testing, I've got Scottish, Wales, Ireland. So those places are absolutely on my bucket list to go.
It is a beautiful country. I will admit. I will hate my own.
It is a beautiful country.
I really
Oh,
want to go to the
absolutely.
Highlands.
What was that?
Yeah, watch Braveheart this weekend, Goose. Watch Braveheart.
Didn't Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, but she's getting kicked out.
What?
Yeah, I saw
Wow.
that she's getting.
How do you get kicked
I
out?
haven't. I'll be honest. I just saw the headlines that she was. I haven't read the full story, but that's.
How do you get kicked out of a country?
You know, my dad did twice. He got kicked out of Ibiza and he got kicked out of Switzerland. So it's totally possible.
Like, what do you got to do to get kicked out of a country?
My dad owed like $1 million krone in child support in Switzerland, and then in Ibiza, freeing all the animals from a pet shop on the island.
That is amazing. He freed all the animals.
Yeah, at a pet shop. Yeah, that was the last straw for my dad in Spain. So.
What does that say, Tabby? My squad calls me mama. Don't let Martha see that. She'll tell you that you're abusing your children, but she did to me.
She was denied citizenship. Goose. I just looked it up. She was denied citizenship.
See that? All the money in the world can't buy you, even citizenship.
Well, in the U.S. it can, $5 million.
Telling me all I need is $5 million and I can live in the US.
$5 million, and you can get the Trump Gold card.
Perfect. There's going to be a GoFundMe link in my bio later.
That's right. I'm sorry. We have to use factual language here. Call people by the correct names, right?
Candace.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. If we're going to use correct and proper language for everybody, then that includes her.
That's right. I mean, it's the respectful thing to do.
Oh yeah, the
Right.
GCs, they're all about respect.
Right, and calling
Unless you're
things
trans.
right, and calling things for what they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I don't really have, like, Martha and I hashed all of our issues out. Like, I still think what she posted on Twitter is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know how she ever recovered from that. How people forgave her for all the racist, homophobic, womanizing comments that she made.
Yeah, are you not aware that women are literally just their uteruses?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we are.
Oh, let me tell you, some of the people there I listen to, and I can't even believe that we're in 2025. And hearing the things of, like, who's that woman? Her name is like something Helmet, and she like always.
Oh, life is tough. Get a helmet.
Oh my God.
Yes.
She's like Martha's little like simp. Her and Manimal, the two of them. But like, she doesn't even think that women should be in like leadership positions, like as a president, or basically, be subservient to men and all that stuff. I'm just like, damn. Like,
yeah, I would love
to be empowering for women.
Like, I would absolutely love to watch a man tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm. I would too, actually. I want to see what happens. I want to be a fly on the wall.
It reminds me of a story when I was a district manager. I was at that point I was the only woman that was a district manager with 3 other men that were at the same level I was. I went up to another part of Texas to visit those other district managers. They had.
I just noticed. Sorry.
Jump scaring us.
Ooh, jump scare. Again, and this is one of the women who had the audacity to call me a trans woman.
Dude, that's like a face only a mother can love, let me tell you.
Even in its struggles.
Can I be funny real quick?
Sure.
Okay, someone said someone was saying something about hearing a guy tell them what to do. Blah 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 blah.
I'm just gonna go back to the kitchen now because that's where I belong.
Let's be honest. If anybody was sitting there having someone tell them what to do, that's all we would hear is just blah blah blah.
Yeah, you're probably
Because
right
all
on
of
that.
us would tune them out.
Huh?
So while I was there, there was a bank robbery. So we responded, and they did not know after the cops left how to disable the branch security system. I had to do this for them to show them and tell them how to walk through it. I was like, it was kind of funny that I had to teach them how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get my green card and then I'm gonna run to be president.
You're not allowed to? Oh, wait, of America? You can't.
Listen, if we can change it with as much as shit's been getting changed lately, I think that's perfectly fine.
Why not? Believe it or not, that was one of the things that made me the angriest when I was a little girl and I found out I couldn't be president. That made me really angry. It really did. I was like 9, 10 years old and I was like, what do you mean I can't be president? I really was mad about that. My mother was like, well, you can do other, you can be represented. Like, it was just funny, but I was so mad that I couldn't be president.
I don't want to be a representative. I want to be the president.
Exactly. I had my goals. I was going to be a president. Going to be president. That was it.
No, thank you. I do not want that kind of responsibility.
And I think I'd actually spend half my time as president really upsetting the GCs. Just for the fun of it.
What would you do? What would be the first thing? What would be the first executive order you would put in place?
The first. Anyone can use any bathroom they want. I actually don't care. Have at it. Go for it. We're also going to redefine the word woman to uterus.
Also, to be fair, when it comes to the bathroom thing, it's like it's a bathroom.
Yeah.
So
just to let people use the restroom.
So Ella, what about your position makes you gender critical?
Oh, none of it anymore.
Oh, okay. Because I saw your background. It said something about you're gender critical, but respect trans people or something.
Yeah, I'm like the original gender critical movement.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, let's just do everything, before it get overtaken by the TERFs.
Yeah, they were awful.
When we lived in a world where we could define what a woman was. I miss those days.
Ella has very much become the let's find a middle ground conversation and just talk.
Back in the day when you didn't have to define anything.
Yes.
You didn't. You just lived your life. Nobody was asking you, define what a woman is.
Like, I don't want people up in my panels to tell me what the problem is. I want you to tell me the solution to the problem. Provide me your solution. I don't want to hear you for 10 minutes tell me why this is an issue. I want you to tell me how to fix the issue.
Right.
So what's it like out? What's it like out in Scotland with all this nonsense? Do you guys have to deal with this?
So Scotland back in April of last year changed the law in a way that they had written it so badly they had to rewrite it 3 times. Because the first law they wrote essentially made it a criminal offence for anybody to use incorrect pronouns for you in any way.
Mary, aren't they trying to pass? You just made me think. Mary, aren't they trying to pass something like that in Texas to criminalize?
Yes. Yes, that it would be that you would get jail time. Yeah, that you literally could go to jail for being transgender if you actually put your correct gender marker that you go by.
What's up with the Supreme Court case on that? Have they decided anything?
So the law officially went into play as of September and has not gone very well since because Police Scotland don't have time to do anything else now.
Yeah, I just know that there was the Supreme Court case about the act that was brought up, and they did. I think they had a trial. In November, December, and then they're going to give a response from it in the near future. So I wasn't sure, and it's all about it's the GRCs. It's trans women with GRCs, and whether you can kick them out of spaces that are deemed single sex spaces.
Which would be difficult anyway, because as much as we have what is deemed single-sex spaces, it's not actually written into law. And it never has been.
I just don't understand, how do people know? Like if I was to, how would anybody fucking know?
They wouldn't.
Because that's the thing,
They
right?
wouldn't.
How are they going to enforce it? Are they just going to, take a fingerprint of everybody or, a DNA sample whenever you enter, a single-sex space? How are they going to do that?
They're not, and it's going to be an absolute shit show.
Right. And to be honest, go ahead.
The
Sorry.
way they have it, it's not even done by it's done by people's perception.
Citizens arrest. Here.
This is going to be brilliant.
There was a woman who was just arrested in Florida. She messaged every member of the Florida State Congression, all the bicameral Congress, saying that she was going to use a women's restroom, and she did, and she got arrested. She might have got arrested twice.
No, they're trying to make laws they can't enforce, and they know they can't enforce.
Well, that's because it's the laws are specifically geared towards trans women and non-binary people.
Yeah, it's got to the point now where, we have actual women being kicked out of women's bathrooms because another woman has got so upset about it. And I'm like, well, what are we achieving here? Nothing. We're achieving nothing. In fact, a lot of places around me have actually changed their bathrooms to just gender neutral ones. They've taken away the male and female signs, which they're absolutely allowed to do.
Surprisingly, that's all you have to do in a lot of bathrooms. If they're single occupancy bathrooms, just take the fucking signs off.
We have entirely solved the problem here, and it took us 10 minutes to do. It's strange. I don't know. The country I live in is screwed. Entirely screwed. Especially with what's his face in power. That's just never going to end well. Although there is talk now that because Trump's implementing all these tariffs, he seems to have forgotten that his biggest golf course is where I live. We should probably up the tax on that, actually.
Yeah. Especially the land tax, and just fucking piss them off.
It's massive, and it's the only place in Scotland you cannot buy iron brew. Because it's too Scottish.
I was going to ask about that. I was going to tell Goose he needs to drink some iron brew.
Iron brew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
But now I'm just offended. I'm gonna go and cry myself to sleep tonight.
You know what I did when I first came onto this app? I had a friend that lived in the UK, and we mailed each other a care package of items like candy and just food from our country that you can't get elsewhere, like local things, right? And then we opened it on a live, and it was pretty cool. Like food.
All I want is somebody to do 3 things for me. Send me Sour Patch Kids and Ranch, because those are the 2 things I require in life. Go to Bath and Body Works and get me the Disney Princess collection and send me some crumble cookies. That's it.
Ella, Ella, I could totally do that for you.
It would probably cost more to send it, Echo, than it would be to buy it.
Yeah.
I will send you all the Scottish goods you need.
All the iron brew that you need.
All the shortbread.
We may have to do this, Ella. Do like an exchange.
We may
That would be
have
fun.
to.
That'd be fun.
I'll start sending you all like monthly care packages.
You want a Cinnabon? A Cinnabon.
We've just got our first Cinnabon.
You guys have the anti-pretzels? You probably don't.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
We do.
You don't have Walmart, but you have anti-pretzel.
Yep.
That's so crazy.
Tesco. Why do they need Walmart?
Oh, I don't know. Because they don't need Walmart. Walmart needs to take over everything. That's why.
See, I'm less concerned about getting a Walmart. I want a Target.
Target's pretty good.
I really want a Target.
You do everything in Target. You go grocery shopping.
Target failed in Canada, by the way. Like, it failed spectacularly, and the reason is because even though we're right next door to, we're neighbors basically. Just the distribution didn't work in Canada, so everything was super expensive, and like their entire stores it wasn't the same experience. You have to experience it here.
We have Bath and Body Works here. The problem is they didn't have the Disney Princess collection, and they're not gonna have the like pumpkin collection. And I want to smell like a pumpkin spice latte all year round.
You guys have Dunkin' Donuts?
Do we have Dunkin' Donuts?
Starbucks?
We have Starbucks.
You know that the West Coast doesn't have Dunkin' Donuts? So, like, I went to California looking for Dunkin' Donuts at the airport, and they didn't have any. What is that?
It's the pumpkin pecan or body cream.
See, I want to smell like it all year round.
Does it smell like pumpkin?
Mm-hmm. It smells so good. I love it. Bath and Body Works is my go-to.
See, the one
I love that.
The one that I got is one of their new ones, and I absolutely adore it.
I just buy whatever's on sale and use it.
It's cozy vanilla bourbon.
I just buy like whatever.
And
it's just. What is that?
Cozy vanilla bourbon.
That one is pretty good.
Sausage rolls.
Very random question. Has anybody played the Division 2 before?
I have. I got it, yeah.
Yeah, funny thing is, I'm playing that right now, and I guess I was standing right next to a respawn point for the enemies, so I just got completely lit up.
Oh, yeah.
I got destroyed.
Are you on Steam?
All my babies.
No, I'm sadly stuck on PS4.
No.
I wish I had a PC.
Ella, what is that? Are you in a store?
No, this is my Bath and Body Works collection.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Mine's in the other room.
See, when I went 2 years ago, we did like a huge family holiday to Florida. I went into Lynx Africa is.
Lynx.
I'm gonna need to start writing a list of things I'm gonna need to send to you people.
What is it? Lynx is like a big cat. A lynx.
Well, funnily enough, Goose, I will not be sending you a big cat.
No. I do not like that.
I feel like there's gonna be some like.
Of a minx.
With that. Shortbread.
Shortbread. Do you like corn? What is it? Corned beef and cabbage? No, that's Irish. That's the Irish.
It's very easy to confuse the two, though. It's fine.
They have a holiday called Hogmanay that you should celebrate.
It's Hogmanay.
What? You guys, what? Can you tell us a little bit about this holiday?
It's what we call New Year's Eve.
Oh, what Hogmanay?
I'm gonna hold a live on just purely how to pronounce Scottish words.
We need the education.
We absolutely do.
Does anybody in here drink whiskey?
My wife does.
I will send you some Scottish whiskey.
Yeah, I've been one before too.
Canada
doesn't count.
We play Canadian hockey teams and baseball teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have a World Series of baseball, and you're the only country that plays baseball.
Again, wrong. We have Canada. They spell words like center with RE at the end instead of ER. And like
They don't count. Canada doesn't count.
No, you
What do you mean it
spell
doesn't
center.
count?
You spell center SENTRE.
Aluminum.
It's aluminium.
Oh, what?
Aluminium.
If somebody said that to me, I would look at them and I'd be like, "What language are you speaking to me in?"
And it's not a zucchini; it's a courgette.
It's
aluminium. A Corvette.
A courgette.
This has to be the most fun I've ever had. This is the one. This is the live that needs to be on YouTube.
A little aluminum foil.
Aluminium.
How do you say that hot drink that you drink in the morning? That you pour some milk and sugar in?
Tea.
No.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Well, nobody has eggplants and goose in the UK either.
No, you're right, because we call them aubergines
That's
over
it.
here.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what it was called then.
Do you guys have let me think. What are you guys known for? Like here in America, we're known for things like
obesity,
like pizza,
Obesity.
just obesity. Yeah.
That's Italian.
It
I
is. It's
disagree.
Italian. So when you go to France and you go to a restaurant, do you just say, "I'd like to have some fries"? You don't have to say French fries.
Yeah, you would in France. You would.
Yes.
But you know what? I heard that people from the UK, fries is like chips, and like chips are like fries. That's like backwards the way we say it.
No, they're all just chips.
Yeah, chips. What
Chips.
you're referring
So-
to is chips
so
or crisps.
So you don't say potato chips.
No, we say
Potato
crisps.
And so what about French fries? Very good. That makes sense. My kid's coming. If she decides to get in the car, I'm gonna have to get off the phone.
Right. They don't have sneaker culture. It's not called sneakers either. They're called trainer skates.
They're trainers.
What about? Do you guys have just regular shoes, like office shoes?
Yeah, they're just called smart shoes or shoes. What we're known for, I suppose, if you want to go British, it would be fish and chips. Ella being Scottish would probably be haggis.
Yep. Land of the Haggai.
And then Ireland would be Guinness.
We'd be tenants and we're whiskey.
Yeah.
Beans on toast.
Beans on toast.
Toast.
Jacket potatoes.
Oh no! They call them in the UK. Don't they call them spuds? Right? And they put things like sauerkraut on their potatoes.
No, they put tuna, beans, and cheese.
Oh, that's what it is.
You absolutely cannot diss that. It is one of the best combinations, and I would recommend everybody tries it.
Yeah.
I can't. Hot tuna. No, tuna should not be hot.
The tuna isn't hot though.
What?
The tuna isn't hot.
What? Hot. A potato is hot. It comes like you put bacon and cheese and sour cream on it, right?
No.
No.
And this is why you have a weight problem.
It is. Oh my God, Echo! I just noticed your minimum.
I mean, I'm not saying America's got a weight problem, right? But I can see half of Florida on Google Earth.
Yes. Well, now we just have medication that you could take that'll take the fat away.
Well, Manjaro.
Their PM's going to give it to everybody too.
I am aware that you can, in fact, buy Heinz baked beans in the US, but they are lying to you. That is not how we do them over here. I will send you some proper ones.
Oh, I used to think that this is gonna be crazy. You guys are gonna laugh. I used to think that Hershey's chocolate was the best chocolate ever, until I learned that there are countries that make better chocolate than Hershey's. Like
Yeah,
our chocolate's good.
I will send you some dairy milk and some Galaxy.
Yeah, our chocolate's good.
It's the
But you
hate
want
crime.
Abbey and Lucerne.
Echo, that looks
So
disgusting.
That right there is British people's childhoods.
You know what? All I could think about in that picture is how soggy the bread probably is, and then I can't eat it.
But
that's
Goose,
the point of it.
they can't comprehend sausage and gravy or biscuits and gravy.
That's because it's a fucking scone here. What? What are you talking about? It's not a scone. A scone is like a breakfast thing. You eat it for breakfast.
And what do you eat biscuits and gravy for?
You just eat it just because it's good.
First time I ever went to America,
Echo,
they were like, "Do you want
Echo,
biscuits
I
and
love
gravy?"
the
I was like, "Why do I want to
background.
dip bourbons in?"
The British didn't invade half of the spices; it was the English. And I really don't think we should be lumped in with that group because just no.
Ella, I ordered them, so you'll get a live reaction.
I want a live reaction.
So hey, so when you eat that sandwich that is on the screen here,
it's not sandwich
or whatever, a big thing of beans. That's like an entire can of beans on a slice of Wonder Bread. Does it fall apart when you pick it up?
No.
Because the bread is probably all soggy.
No, so you toast it first.
It's not something you pick up.
No, you eat it with a knife and fork because we're civilized here.
I actually enjoy it. I get the Heinz, the canned Heinz from the European aisle.
Yeah, so they're lying to you. They're actually American-made Heinz beans.
Mm.
We'll get
I thought it was the same recipe style that you guys use.
No, they're lying to you. They say that it's not.
And you guys have never experienced Ribena. It's a travesty.
What's it called again?
Ribena.
Oh yeah, they're not allowed blackcurrant.
No.
That is also a travesty.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have like the most amount of E numbers in your food, but one glass of blackcurrant that has...
See, I could probably do...
Webby, I drink Vimto.
Vimto's good.
Beans on toast. I could probably do like a potato with chili.
You see, but you're gonna have to put tuna on top of it with some cheese.
Yeah. And you've got a full-on like mix the mayonnaise with the tuna.
I changed my profile to match my how people see me on TikTok.
You know what, Goose? I'm gonna extend you an offer here. If you want to come over to the UK, we can do like a big food tour because I really think that would be beneficial for everybody.
I feel like there's too many people from the UK that I would be worried that I would run into and oh my god, and want to trip on the sidewalk.
Dude, I can promise you, it's bigger than you think, okay?
It is.
Goose, they have a whole 64 million people in the UK.
To specific Scotland, we are the one country that England has never actually managed to invade.
Do you guys drive on the left or the right side of the road?
The left side of the road.
Oh, that would ruin me. That would.
You guys are the ones that do it wrong.
Wait, Ella, can I ask you a question? Have you seen the Loch Ness Monster yet?
I am the Loch Ness Monster.
I love that.
Did you not know that? I am
No,
Nessie. That's why they've never actually found her.
Oh, wait, so
they've been looking in the wrong place the entire time.
Should have been looking in a bar under the bottle of tequila.
Yep. She was a city girl the whole time.
she gets out, she emerges from the water, turns into a gorgeous woman, and just lives her life.
Yep, and then every so often I'll go back and I'll pop like a fin out of the water. Somebody will take a picture of it and it'll keep the Nessie dream alive for a couple of months. Then I might go back and do it all over again.
That story checks out, actually. I'm doing research. That story checks out.
Ella, what's the name of... I don't know if you remember this, and maybe you know because it's a Disney movie, but there was a Disney movie when I was a kid that was from the 60s where there was like... They would pretend to be the Loch Ness Monster. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what was that called? That's really going to annoy me now.
I know what movie you're talking about. Somebody was talking to me about it the other day.
You guys want to see something? I'm gonna show
Yeah.
you something. Hold on.
Called The Ballad of Nessie.
Yeah, that's one of them. There's another one that was live action though.
Like I built my kids a treehouse.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
I want a treehouse.
It's pretty cool, actually. That was my COVID project.
I seen that summer.
Can I just say,
awesome.
the 11 hours the Americans didn't have TikTok, it was like the quietest 11 hours ever.
Beautiful, man.
Caught up on sleep.
Wait, was TikTok still running? It just wasn't running for America?
Yes.
Oh my God, the world went on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, I thought
in Texas.
And all we did was
Pissed
sit and
off
mock
red
Americans.
notes so bad.
y'all were like, who are we gonna make fun of now?
We moved on to the Canadians because they are just essentially Americans that are unarmed.
Excuse me, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we made fun of the Canadians, but they just apologized to us. Sorry, eh?
It's a boot time. It's a boot time.
Blame Canada.
See, no, Hen, it's a good time.
I mean, they eat female bacon, and they think coffee crisps are really good candy bars. So
What?
I'm with you.
But even that fake imitation rubbish that you serve as bacon isn't real bacon either.
Not rubbish.
No, Webby female bacon is the same as.
Wait, I have a question. Does every place have like a place to the terms to that? I want to know.
Rubbish.
We call it rubbish as well.
What?
All right, I gotta go, guys.
Why
All right,
can't
later,
I?
Goose.
Yeah.
Leave us, Goose.
Bye, Goose. Bye, Goose.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I just did not have a good day because I just to come in the live and they were all shit talking me with pictures, and I was like, wow, must be nice to be me.
Oh, it's all right. I'm starting a support group for that type of thing.
So that's why I'm now TikTok Meg because everybody treats me like Meg. So
You really freaking
Right now, Echo, are you going to want a tinned haggis or do you want a live haggis?
I've never had haggis in my life.
oh, what do you mean live, girl? You don't cook that shit?
Well, no. I'm gonna have to go out and hunt one first.
No, because that's the insides of an animal. I don't remember what animal, but it's inside of an animal. It's a liver.
A haggis is a real animal.
So you talk about okay.
Listen, I eat a lot of weird shit. There's certain meats like processed meats I can't digest, so I don't eat certain things. But like different animals, I have no problem eating them.
I want you to know, Echo, because of y'all two. I want you to know, Ella and Echo, because of y'all two, I'm screenshotting everything now. Every time I see something that's off, I'm screen recording it.
Good girly. You've learned
things of people making confessions to Christy, and I caught it all on camera. I got all the deets.
Ooh.
I'm about to be Nancy Drew in this motherfucker. Sorry.
I could take Americans seriously, but do you guys not have Cheese Whiz?
What?
And produced and available for purchase? It's just wrong.
Ella, I live in the Pacific Northwest. Everything is farm to table here around me. It's like we have some of the best coffees in the world, and some of the best alcohol from.
I have a
beer and
question.
wine.
Do y'all have good skincare over there? Because I might need y'all to send me some products.
They don't have the sun. That's the best skincare.
Have you seen Ella?
I don't put me in this situation. Don't put me in this situation, please. Don't. Ella's beautiful. Why? Don't say anything about Ella. Yeah, look at her. Look at her. Who's that wonderful girl? Could she be any cuter?
The skincare I use, you can buy in the US.
Okay, so nothing is better. Okay. I was just saying in case stuff was better. That's all.
You're just going to want to use the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. Trust me.
Because, baby, these pores are screaming. They're screaming for help. I'm talking about my pores.
You're also going to want to get a good niacinamide serum.
What the fuck is that?
I'll send you a list. I'll send you a list.
Thank you. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. You're such a girl's girl. You're allowed in my bathroom.
Meg, don't
And
you
you're allowed in
don't you
mine.
take Spyro?
Ella, shut the fuck up.
So Ella, if I were to send you a package, international shipping, £4, up to £4, I believe. It's like £4 to 20.
And I
Yeah,
don't
like
need the
four
full
pounds
Bath
of
and Body
like
Works collection. I just need Ariel and Belle.
yeah, 4
We're gonna
pounds we
go.
could do a lot with.
Ella, I got a question. Are the men there cute?
It depends. How are we defining cute?
Are they? Do they look like men? Like, are they muscular? Do they have do they like
I mean, some of them are.
What you want, Meg, is
Okay,
a shav. Is what
well,
you want.
I'm wondering if it's like Greece, where everyone in Greece is beautiful, quote unquote. I'm saying quote unquote.
Why would you come to any other country when you know, like, I'm here?
Okay, Ella. Okay, Ella. First off, you have parts that I don't necessarily like, and then second, shut the fuck up. Our little secret.
I mean, why would you want to come and see all the fat men when you can just come and look at me?
All right,
Yes,
fine.
charging
I'll
people
take you.
for
I'll
this.
take you. I'll take you to dinner. I'll see how it works because I don't know how you are. You might be a little. I don't know.
Yeah, you've got to take me to dinner first. Come
You
on.
might be a tranny. I don't know. I don't know, Ella.
Damn.
Don't tell anyone, right? But apparently I am. No, I
Ella, I
have
love
not
you so
spoken
much.
to a
Oh God, you
specialist.
just made my day so much better. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for. I'm available to book on Cameo.
Yeah, it's so. I had such a shitty day because I had trannies calling me out left and right today, and I'm so sick of it. I'm fucking like. I'm sorry that I'm not like. I'm sorry I'm not some silent little prissy bitch that wants to be in cis woman's good graces. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. No, bitch.
See, that's
Yo,
what I think they thought I was gonna do, and then I had my very problematic best friend.
Well, I
Then
just don't understand. It's like they don't see me as a woman, but they silence me like I'm a woman. They refuse. They hold me accountable for every one of my actions. Even the actions that I didn't even do. I'm
I mean,
over
I
it.
get
I'm over
talked
it.
over like
I'm
women
over
all
it.
the time.
I'm
So
over their double standards. I'm over it.
I've been over their doubles.
Speak up about myself in a somewhat I consider it a sweet way. I get told you need to stop talking about people. When people literally talk crap about me every second, it's like they're obsessed with me because they always have my name in their mouth.
It's all right. So Echo and I are.
That'll be so cute. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, we should have T-shirts that say this will be on Reddit.
right.
Right. I would. Oh my God. We need to make the shirts. We need to make the shirts. We need to make the shirts.
We should have one that says I've been downgraded to a moderate TRA.
I do a lot with ordering
Shut
custom
the fuck
merchandise,
up,
so I
Ella.
edit in with t-shirt embroiders.
Maybe we should have like one of those like color changing like coffee mugs. But
There we
instead of the color changing, it just says TERF, and then when you pour hot water into it, it changes to TRA.
That would be cool.
Let me up for all
That's
your-
amazing.
I like trains.
Thank you for that completely irrelevant piece of information. You really have turned me into a bitch, Echo.
I've beaten me to like the most accepting TRA.
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
need to go back to the old me.
it's been carried over from a prior live.
Wait, TikTok can do that.
Yes. If you go live to live and you get reported in one prior, when it catches up, it'll flag you in another live.
Well, that's not.
We love TikTok Shop.
TikTok Shop is great. Buy Echo and I's merch on TikTok Shop.
Yeah. Next week you'll get me you'll get a reaction to that drink. I'll do live with it and wait for you to come in for it.
Yay!
My vape just died.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a can myself, and we can drink it together.
Echo, they have better Fanta than us, by the way. It's like it's not neon orange.
Oh, Fanta's so good.
And it tastes like the Canadian version tastes more like tangerines, but you guys just taste more like mandarins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our stuff's so much better because it has less sugar in it.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, if you have to pay extra for all that stuff in the United States.
Yeah, so when I was in typical can of Monster, I was so close to like unaliving. Like that was not fun.
So Ella, I got to tell you a funny story. So when I was in my 20s, I would go to Vancouver, British Columbia, and I would go like see my friends like DJ and play in bands and stuff. And there was always like random American girls there drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade and like Jack Daniel's like whiskey. And in the U.S., they're like hard tea. So I'd always have to go up to these girls who are like downing these like they're seltzers and tell them these are not seltzers. These are the real things. You should probably stop, especially with monsters and stuff. We pack our stuff with so much more stuff over here.
It's the caffeine content. I'm telling you, like my heart was beating so fast I couldn't feel it.
Yeah, that's super expensive. Yeah, I have a friend from Santa Monica, and she goes occasionally, but it's pricey for her. She knows Claire Danes. They would go there. But yeah, it's super expensive. I mean, I go to Whole Foods because it's near my house, and that's super expensive as well.
I miss Eggos.
Eggo waffles.
Yeah. Do we have them?
They just look good. But I then heard about there's like what's it called? There's like another like cookie brand that apparently does better cookies. I don't know. I just want some cookies at this point.
Not Mrs. Fields. Like the tagalongs and the thin mints.
If you send Ella some stuff, you got to send us some animal cookies as well because we can't get them here.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Right? See if there's anybody who's willing to give me their pumpkin pie recipe. I'd also really appreciate it.
I can send you some pumpkin spice.
That'll do. I just want.
You want to make pumpkin pie?
I just want some pumpkin pie.
But it's going to be really hard to get the type of pumpkin you need. It's not just a standard pumpkin.
I'm aware of that. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. So I mean, it just depends on how you make it. Like, you know, a lot of people, like especially in the U.S., we just use the canned pumpkin variety stuff. That's pretty much like that, or like again, unless you go through the process, it doesn't happen.
Maybe just send her a tin of pumpkin stuff as well.
Look, at this point, what I'll do, right, is I'm just going to put in like a Target order, and you can just pick that up.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do is get the can of pumpkin and right, and just you guys have the pie crust already. So
I think it was like a sad day in the UK when our first Costco opened. That was
Oh no.
That was a brilliant day.
Yeah, I might have to put together a box for you, Ella.
I mean, we can get...
Right. Do you know the one thing I can't buy from Costco? A pumpkin pie big enough to feed a family of 16. I don't have a family of 16, but I now identify as a family of 16. And I will eat all of it.
The birthday cakes aren't as good either, to be fair.
Come on, everybody knows you go to Costco for
like 900 square feet in my duplex, and I'm like, where am I going to put 3,000 rolls of toilet paper?
See, like that's the thing. Like, you don't go to Costco with a list. You go to Costco, and Costco tells you what you need.
A £4,000 TV. Yep, I'll take 2.
Bulk buy meat, but I now feel the need to buy a 10-person raft.
And then you've got to make sure you get a hot dog and soda on the way out.
I need to get 9 friends to take on the raft.
How do you get banned for 3 minutes? You probably got like a 10-minute. Hey, whatever we want on my live, pretty much, and we never get them.
I want to put that to the test.
You shouldn't have said that to my ADHD brain.
Donald Trump's an asshole.
I mean, you should have watched last night. Like there was a lot that was said that should have gotten us beamed.
See, like, I caught some of your live last night because I had to go and I did clip the bit of you went, oh,
Yeah.
I would stay awake for this. Like, this sounds interesting, but I'm so tired. And then
It's
I'm like,
also why I record stuff to YouTube, because people aren't the exact same time zone.
well, this is the thing. Like, I now know, like, if I look at my home screen, like, what time it is in New York, so that I'm not texting.
It's my home screen.
We're very considerate, very mindful, very demure, very cutesy.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, I went live for like 10 minutes earlier with the background that says I'm a GC and I respect trans people. What about it? And still had like 4 people in the comments are
And they still want to argue. Like, grow up.
like, I'm not saying you have to hug all of them. I'm not saying we have to, just like start throwing parties every time it's like we find out someone's trans. We don't have to do that. I'm just saying you just have to treat them like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wild concept. I know. It really freaks some people out with it. Or especially when Martha decided to tell me, but no, because if I'm not following her rules, then I'm just a moderate TRA, but that's okay. Like, all right, so now you're the one that assigns who people are, right? Cool, wonderful. Just checking.
Yep.
Just checking. The thing is, I've said it for days, right? I am mainly going live at this point because I know you're watching, and I know you're either going to run back to somebody else with what I've said, or you're going to take it to Reddit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit and say these things so that when you do it, I'm right. I'm not gonna sit there and make it boring for you. I'm gonna make it entertaining.
Yeah, I'm reading a Reddit post that Danielle's assuming some wild shit. Welcome back.
Back, bitches.
My child is here.
Fuck, I'm out of vape juice again.
That's another thing that annoyed me about America.
What?
Their vaping laws.
Yeah, they're about to get more ridiculous.
What are they?
I feel you Europeans you guys smoke always in the smoking section.
Yeah, like we do things a bit differently over here, right? We're more classy.
No, we're just chavs.
Cavs are Neds, right? Isn't that what you guys call them in Scotland?
We have the young teams. They're great.
God, I'm so cold. It's so weird. I was out having a barbecue an hour ago. And now I'm sat in bed with my electric blanket shivering.
That's another thing I find weird about America. You live in such a hot country, but why do so many of you have heated blankets?
Because it's cold.
Well, yeah, not all of us live in like I live in an area where it's rainy and cloudy 9 months of the year, and we have 2 or 3 months of summer where there's no rain, and then it's like 10 to 15 degrees in the winter, minus a couple of weeks, and then it's it gets up to maybe 15 to 20 degrees in the summer. So
I will take 2 to 3 months of summer. I would take that.
yeah, so we have about from July 1st until we don't get thunderstorms. It's always just like a sprinkly rain, and nobody owns an umbrella.
You've just reminded me that's another thing about America that annoys me.
What about all of America? Does all of America annoy you, Ella?
No, but the fact that they celebrate Independence Day, yet you didn't really gain your independence by yourself because you had to run to France for help.
Damn, not the run to
We just
France.
weighed up the pros and cons and was like, fuck it, let them have it.
I mean, it's just decided to give all the Commonwealths the same anniversary in 1967 and jets them off to their own countries.
Yeah, but at least every war Scotland's fought, we've won on our own. I haven't ran to another country for help. Although speaking of that, if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have my favourite musical, so W America. I wouldn't have Hamilton.
Ella, what's the
I
name of the
love
Reddit again?
Hamilton.
Debate Talk Snark. Why? Honestly, at this point, if you just type my name into the Reddit search bar, it'll pop right up.
Yeah, basically.
Last night.
Look, right, see, it is like a cold day in hell when I'm not on Reddit.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you have the background. You're prepared.
Yeah. Hey Reddit, and then Echo has one for my. Although
so cold.
I'm gonna have to create that other Reddit account because I think if so many people are getting so much enjoyment out of putting Reddit posts up about us, we should get that same enjoyment as well. We should start making Reddit posts about us.
Yes.
Totally could. Enough people talk on me, though.
Exactly, like I'm gonna jump on the clout train that is my name. Like I've literally got a TikTok to post tonight that's like, my posts are not directly aimed at anyone, but if the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella. Lace them up. Wear them with pride.
Oh, Brookie, Summer, and Muppet are on it.
Muppet probably did that herself because it's got to the point they are so irrelevant that they have to post it themselves.
All right, folks, I'm gonna go.
It's that they were going to go get a lobotomy. I was like, eh?
I don't think we need to take it that far, sir. I don't think we need to take it that far.
No, it's just what I thought I heard.
There's no need for lobotomies, although I got my lobotomy at Claire's.
Yeah.
Tattoo parlors. You guys do tattoo parlors weird.
We do a lot of things differently here in America.
No, you do a lot of things wrong.
Wrong'uns.
That's subjective, but America is just like trash.
Oh yeah, Ella, did I show you I got my camera back? I had a barbecue with my mum. I was at my mum's house. And I made a barbecue sauce. You know, like, proper barbecue sauce. Not like the shitty shit out of a bottle. Like the proper stuff.
Did you not discuss this in my live earlier?
No, I don't think so.
I think you did because you were up.
Oh yeah, it was your live.
Yeah, it was because we were taking the piss out of it because it looked like something else.
Threatens me with a timeout all the time.
It's really funny.
I'm a grown-ass woman.
Because I said I got nanaed for 10 minutes. And because and Ada goes, oh, why? And
that don't work. Ooh.
I was like, because of my voice. And Beardy goes, I have that issue with my youthful looks. I was like, yeah, right.
Huh?
The man was fully going down on a raw turkey.
It was chicken.
Yeah.
His hairless pubed chicken because of his beard.
Just want to say to TikTok, we do actually know this person, so it's fine.
Yeah, we do. We love Beardy.
I mean, there's a fine line.
Why do you think we're not getting married? Because you're cheating on me with him.
Was that you or Webby using your Hoover then?
Me. Oh, I could put up my bum.
I don't want
I shouldn't be putting any up there. I'm just saying.
No, not like half the Millennium Falcon or anything. Just like 5 little bricks and a rectangular one.
Beardy said,
I'm just. It's been an interesting 24 hours.
Yeah.
I for the first time in about 3 months, came into a call out live of yours that wasn't about me.
4 hours.
That was fun life.
Well, this is new. Am I not being problematic anymore?
Nope.
Don't know how to cope in a call out live that's not about me.
I need to see if my other account can handle. That is routed on another device through the Netherlands. Oh.
Ella, are you doing your makeup?
No, but I washed all my makeup brushes, so I'm putting them away.
It's like I can hear brushes or makeup. I can't tell which.
It's makeup. I just needed to clean my makeup brushes because they were like disgusting.
I just had a shower and I feel fresh. You see my boyfriend. Oh! I'm so excited.
Oh my god, Domino's Pizza are doing a garlic and herb Easter egg.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Alright. I might be live tonight, my time. I don't know. So, see what happens. It's
We'll find
nice.
someone to call out tonight, Echo. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll find someone, I'm sure. Something.
Yeah, I'll troll the Reddit, see who needs calling out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can I dox myself?
No.
Oh.
People know that, like, it's on my phone. Like, I have Reddit on my phone, and I'm like...
I think the last time I checked the Reddit was when Chloe was on Ella's live and said that her and Fred would dox somebody, and I was in the panel. Yeah. And that's the last time I checked the Reddit.
Yeah.